There we go. Sorry that you guys couldn't hear me for 1 second. I had clicked on the wrong thing for a second. Welcome back for another week of Curse of Strahd fun with Sept Imperium. Thanks for coming back. Thanks for checking us for the first time, whether it's live on VOD or on YouTube later on. We've been playing this little horror campaign for a hot minute now, and things are starting to heat up. So I'm excited for these guys to move into that stuff. Before we get into it, do you guys have any announcement that you guys wanted to make? First, I gotta actually call myself out because there's something that needs to be changed. Yep. Specifically, Voth is no longer with us. What happened? What happened to Voth?
We downgraded.
Yeah, Jeremy, what happened?
What happened? What happened to Voth?
He got a cold.
You gotta take him out to the back of the clawfoot tub, you know? Oh my god.
Clancy wasn't here.
Yeah, she was not. I mean, shit, you weren't here for that part. Yeah, fun things to be mentioning during the recap. But yeah, do you guys have any announcements? Anything? Oh, well, first of all, welcome back, Jason. Good to have you back. Almost as good to have you as Sal. I think everyone agreed on that one while you were gone. It's a close toss up, like 50%.
Oh, so I heard the little snide comments in the VODs.
I told Jason you gotta check the session. He's like, what? Condolences for the return for
Each person has got theirs coming.
I already know what the messed up part is. I know the first one was when he either jumped in the front line or healed somebody, and Drake goes, "Wait, what? I'm sorry, I'm just not used to having someone help the party a little bit." In the fucking first session, I was like, "Oh, we already gonna go hard."
Brutal.
Oh, yeah.
But no, really, Jason, it's good to have you back. We missed you, despite what we might say outwardly, but in our hearts, the part that we will never admit we have, our feelings, are that we're happy to have you back. But that said, how's the little one doing?
He's good. Lets us sleep in about 3 to 3.5 hour increments during the night, so we get roughly about 6.5, 7 to 10 hours of sleep. So
hey, the good news is that'll be over in like 18 years.
He threw the 10 in there. I actually don't feel bad for him at all if you're actually getting 10 hours of sleep. I mean,
Yeah.
Listen, from about age 5 to 18, he'll be under my thumb because he's going to be at the same school I'm going to be at. So.
Oh, that poor fucking kid.
Yeah, I was about to say.
He can never get in trouble. Shit.
Gonna have me, and I ain't giving him A's.
I wouldn't even want to go to school anymore. Just be
Yeah, I
like, I
wouldn't
sneeze and
either.
my dad knows about it. Well,
Yeah,
fuck
and your
that.
dad is Jason? Yeah.
You can hear.
I did get an award from 2 students.
I'm not saying you're not a
It's,
nice guy and a nice teacher, but you a hard ass.
Oh yeah,
Like,
for sure.
and I'm sure you'll be super relaxed with your own.
This kid, one of his students be like, "Hey, Mr. Bono," he's like, "Shut the fuck up!" You're like, "What? Goddamn! I'm just fucking."
I'm only 6, Mr.
You ever seen the drill sergeant from Full Metal Jacket? Yeah, that's me.
All right.
Not your major malfunction, brother.
How Sept Imperium handled parenting. Quite edition.
About the stream though is for a lot of you guys that use Twitch Prime, like mine had actually expired. Just as a reminder to go ahead and re-up.
Thank you for that.
Yeah, and appreciate that. So, if you guys are watching for the first time, just as an FYI, Amazon owns everything, including Twitch, which means that if you have Amazon Prime, you're actually paying for a Twitch subscription. If you guys want to hammer that like and subscribe button really hard, right? Whatever the voice is that you're supposed to be using for this, if you want to subscribe, we would obviously very much appreciate that. As that man banished. Appreciate you, man. As that is going back into upgrades like what you guys see here, which is exactly the kind of stuff that we're bomb-a-grad, thank you, sir. That all of that kind of stuff easily goes back into the stream, making it better quality for you guys. So we're excited for that. And what I'm personally excited for is one big announcement that I wanted to make is on Tuesday, we're going to be seeing what exactly is inside of Ravenloft's little guide written by Van Richten. Now, if you guys have not watched anything like Nerd Immersion and that kind of stuff, there are a couple of things that I want to call out first. If you're a DM, There are no stat blocks for the BBEGs. Yeah, there are no stat blocks for the BBEGs of the Dread Domains. It is great. Well, if you are in the cottage industry, so if you like to write something on DM's Guild or something like that, this is your time to be alive because there's going to be a lot of that coming out. So if you're planning on getting that thing, just know that you'll probably have to get supplement stuff, just as a heads up. I'll probably do a full stream on that on Tuesday, so you 6 should ideally not watch it because there's going to be some spoilers for what happens after Curse of Strahd, right? But the rest of you guys, if you're interested in, what is good about Van Richtens, what are things that I will very likely improve on for these guys to have a better time, tune in on Tuesday for that stream. Also, we just did a stream yesterday. I don't know if I have days off, but they happen sometimes, I think. There was a stream yesterday where we did a one-shot. It was Tailspire. And it was actually way more fun than I expected it to be. You guys should definitely check it out. Drake was in it. What were your thoughts, Drake?
It was actually better than I thought too. When we first got in, I thought it was going to be a little bit of a cluster because it is so much in early access. But once we got rolling, it was surprising because there were things about a 2D map that I missed from a sense of like easy viewability of like where everything is. Things like a big indicator to let me know which monster the DM is interacting with, things like that. One of the things, though, that was incredible, perspective. Like perspective. Seeing, okay, how tall is this pillar really? What does this really look like? What does the elevation actually look like? Because you could actually use terrain to your advantage and your disadvantage. I felt significantly easier moving around things like that. So I think that personally, having DM'd and played in Foundry, that if I was wanting to run a game, Foundry is easier. There's no question about it whatsoever. That being said, if you're going to run a Wizards, and David and I even talked about this earlier today, if you're going to run a Wizards campaign, Curse of Strahd, any of the bigger ones, even Icewind Dale, people are already making all of these maps and they're free open source. I think that it would be awesome. I think that it is great. The one downside is the camera angles remind me of a video game circa 1991 because you will literally have your camera like in a floor and you have to like find a janky position to get your camera so that you can see where your character is. And so from that perspective, it definitely makes it difficult. So like take Curse of Strahd. If we were, when we were at the Wizards of Wine, like that would be a great fight where, we're fighting outdoors and then basically David could remove the second story while we're downstairs and it would be super easy. But when you're in a thing like, say, Strahd's Castle, which I'm assuming has probably got fucking 50 floors, that's going to be really hard. But the thing that I think is really attractive is we just finished Argynvost Hold, and I tried my best there. David does a great job of describing things, and I'll be honest, I had no idea that the scale of it until he showed us a 3D rendering that was done in Tailspire, and it was like, oh shit, that's what we're going into. Okay, because it's like the example I used with my wife when she asked the difference. I go, it's like me saying it's a 3-story house and you describe it and all of that, but unless I'm telling you it's 12,000 square feet, it might as well be a 4,000 square foot house. Even saying that though, without physically seeing it, it's sometimes hard to have a perspective. I think it's great. I think for certain things, it can be really awesome for groups, but I do also think it's probably about 6 months away from being at a place where I would try to solely run a campaign in it. And playing a caster yesterday sucked. I had 2 turns in 4.5 hours.
But they were badass when they did happen. He got to cast Meteor Swarm and wipe an entire phase that had plan out. It was just gone. It was just like, I had these awesome casters that suddenly stepped out into the stage and he's just like, nope. And they're just like completely evaporated. However, he also did, I think you did probably close to 1,000 damage that turn.
Yeah, it was pretty high because there was like 7 monsters and I hit all 5 of my teammates too. Yeah, I was bored because I had no turns because every turn that I had like something was on me and then it was like they took it away, so I was like, YOLO, let's do it. And so I cast it and I just nuked everything on the board.
Yeah, and hey, that was badass. They got to fight Rakdos, by the way. If you're familiar with Magic the Gathering, that was a fun fight. But check it out; it's in our VODs. With that, I think I'm getting ready. I'm getting antsy. I think we should get into it. What do you guys say? All right, let's do this. All right, so previously in our little campaign of playing Curse of Strahd, Sept Imperium was able to defeat the current leader of the Paladins slash Revenants that reside still within Argenvostold, the mansion that once belonged to the Order of Silver Dragon Paladins. Now, you guys saw Ganon pick up a wonderful great sword that Hoyt later identified to be a +2 great sword. At that point, he also took an oath to the Order, but mostly just to have vengeance upon Strahd. You guys then quickly left the place on the magic school bus, as you guys like to call it, the magically pulled by two magical horses, the carnival wagon that Esmeralda uses. Esmeralda, who's the protege of Van Richten, the man that you guys met for a hot second in Vallaki. You guys traveled back to Vallaki and there noticed that things were not quite right, as it appeared that little devilish creatures were upon, well, the gate itself. It seemed like there was a weird little grayish skinned creature with all of these needles sticking off of it. As Warlock tried to communicate with it in Abyssal, it seemed to very quickly recoil and fly away from you guys. You were then informed that only 4 of the guard members of Vallaki are currently in line with Valakovich, Viktor Valakovich, the son of the late mayor, or Bayer, Baron Valakovich, who used to be the Bürgermeister of Vallaki. Now, Victor seems to be actually inclined towards the magical. He had found a book that belonged to a wizard who had traveled through the mist-ridden lands of Barovia, and quickly became a protege and mentee of Nax. Hey, thank you for the follow, by the way. As you guys were kind of filled in what happened, it seems that Lady Vachta, which is very much a pro-Strahd individual within Valaki's community, is the one who commands and controls these little devilish creatures. Voth and Ganon actually also noticed that there was an invisible devil spying on you guys, which then flew away as you guys tried to catch it. You finally made it to the mansion of the Vlakoviches, which is where we left off, as you guys were filled in with some more information, identified some items that you guys had received, and as Hoyt kind of excused himself for a second after well, going ahead and identifying a lot of that stuff for you guys, you see him once again return, but this time he has the completed armor on. Hoyt, would you like to describe what the armor looks like?
The armor is highly polished, almost to a chrome. Each of the folds on the paulders going down has gold like trim on it from the coins that I'd asked to use out of the money that we had gotten from I can't remember which encounter it was. When you look at the paulders, it looks like dark inlaid charcoal that doesn't smudge ravens on the shoulders, and he looks the same, but his beard is now in like braids and it's gotten longer, and he moves it to the side and there is the Sept Imperium symbol with the Morning Lord's rays coming out from it, and there are again dark ravens to kind of signify our allies in the lands that have aided us along the way. There's a pouch hanging from the front, like kind of where his leg bends, and like if he were to bend over, and he ruffles around in there, and you notice that it's a bag of holding. He had infused to have himself a bag of holding, and he pulls out from the bag 6 black cloaks. And these 6 black cloaks are very well made. When he pulls them out, he sets one to the side for himself. Um, he hands one to each of you, and as you unfold it, um, the clasp for the cloak is like almost like a darkened iron, and it's got the Sept Imperium symbol that's there where you clasp the cloak together. And on the back, it's like a glittery silver slash gold Sept Imperium symbol on the back that he's had commissioned for everybody in the group. That kind of resembles the pin that the 4 guards are wearing going around.
Awesome. Ah.
I'm literally thinking like Fellowship of the Ring when they all got the cloaks, you know.
God, I
Yeah,
hope
for
one
the
of you,
war-
I
yeah.
hope one of you goes missing so we can find it in the woods, and I just get the opportunity to be like, "They're taking Rolak to Valaki! They're taking Rolak to Valaki!"
Why's it gotta be me?
It'll be you. Let's be honest.
And the thing is that each of them are tailored to where they do not drag the ground. They hit right at the back of each of your boots for taking into account each of your different sizes. So Hoyt's paid attention to you and had these crafted to fit each of you specifically.
He's been checking out that backside.
I'll go ahead and take off the kind of the mangy, matted wolf fur that I've been wearing for a hot minute, and kind of set it to the side, kind of like almost like putting down the past and putting on the present, and put it on and kind of give you a nod.
Just a little token of my appreciation to you guys.
Did you happen to cut a hole for its tail?
Are we back on that?
No, he's asking.
No, that's a legit question because
Ooh.
last Hoyt would have known Ganon is still under the impression.
Where's your helmet?
You mean the one with the tree?
Yeah, the one with the stick.
Yeah, yeah, that wasn't a good look.
Well, that was obvious. I mean, I can't believe you thought it was a damn good look to begin with.
Why didn't you tell me sooner?
But we tried.
I was walking around on hoofs, man. They were strapped to my feet.
You also had a ratty ass looking tail tied to your waist as well.
Finn pulls the tail out of his bag.
That thing.
What?
Right over there.
I'm just gonna kind of turn, tilt my head a little bit, and be like, "You would be carrying it."
I don't know if you remembered that or not, but I did put the bitch in my bag. Couldn't help it.
I mean, I had something special to be created for you, but, well, I'm glad we didn't waste the metal on it now.
It's fair enough. I'm glad you didn't either. That would have been quite awkward for me at this stage.
I would have been pissed. But I did get something that I need. And he pulls out one of the pieces of silverware that I'd been wanting. I shake it at him. It's like, if we need some powdered silver, I've got some.
Oh, of course you do.
And for the record, is this dinner with Strahd thing still happening? What did y'all decide on that?
I think that we've decided that we're still going to go to it, but we have more pressing issues because we don't know what to expect out of that, and there are issues that need our immediate attention. I think as a group we're discussing that we are going to track down Zachiel. Irena was last seen with him, and she is clearly important to Strahd for some reason, and we can't let that trail get cold. Not to mention, it sounds like there's almost some kind of madman there that is killing innocent people and turning them into abominations. So it kind of checks multiple boxes.
Well, what about the lady here?
The thing is that the moment we left, there was a power vacuum.
Oh, I
It's-
know. I'm
it's-
aware.
It's going to happen again. So say we take her we take her out. The moment we leave again, this town is going to be in essence defenseless again, and the same thing will happen. So it's damned today, damned tomorrow. I'm not saying that we aren't going to help these people. We absolutely will help them when we get back, but I think that one of them is more pressing than the other because the town and the problem within the town is not going anywhere. Now, it may worsen over time, but it's not going anywhere. Zachiel could leave and we could lose his trail altogether if we do not stay on it.
So, he was last seen at Kresk, was it?
He was headed to Crest to the Abbey, where there is apparently a madman that is reanimating the dead, I think, and turning them into revenants, which are not pleasant individuals that we had the pleasure of dealing with last night and yesterday.
DM question. Is the one guard still in the room?
No, it's currently just you guys.
Give me a moment. I'm gonna stick my head out the door. Do I see one of the guards?
Yeah, just like standing outside trying to look as officious as possible. It has the little class that you created for the four of them as well. Yes.
Like the other three, come in this room.
But we're keeping an eye out on the outside in case there might be a little devil watching. Do you want to come us inside anyway?
Let me put it to you this way.
Just yes or no?
The devil's gonna come upon a bad day if he fucks with me in here. I just need you for a moment.
And he just starts walking away already. Seems like he's not even really getting paid. You get the sense he's just getting food and the fact that he's a little bit higher up in the prestige. So
I'm
it's just
gonna
like
quickly tell everybody we're gonna use them as undercover while we go. Shit's gonna get bad here, but they don't need any markings of us on them.
Aren't they already known for it?
Yeah.
Yes, but there can be some kind of incident that happens to make them not want to be associated with us anymore.
Okay.
Or at least stage it, so they can be our spies in our ears while we're gone.
Alrighty. So they come back in. You see like a few different people that gather together and are just like, right, what can we do?
You might not like this, but we things are dire here, and you have two choices. To secure this place, we must retrieve an item or two. She's going down, you know that. And I'm sure you have friends and family here that they don't agree with her. You may have family and friends here that associate with her, that's fine. But if you ever want the sun to shine on these lands again, we have to nix her. But we've got to have a couple of items to do it. So, what I suggest is you remove my markings and you play the part for her, or you keep the markings on and you station yourselves at the Blue Water Inn.
As Victor actually steps forward and goes, well, that was actually the plan anyway. It seems that you are closely connected to Urvin, and he seems to know what he is doing, so it seems to be a better defensible spot, especially since I have abdicated my title to you.
I would recommend anything of value or anything that you would need, want, or fear losing, I would take with you, because I believe once you leave these residents, they will come for it.
Speaking of things of value, Hoyt, are you ready to show them the surprise you've been wanting to show?
Sure.
And he has like this big old smile. It's kind of like half rotted teeth. You get the sense, dental hygiene in this place is not so great. As he walks out and leaves for a while and then comes back. And he comes back holding this relatively, square box. It's just hammered together with simple pine wood as he sets that in front of you, Rolek. And Hoyt, he looks towards you and goes, you said he's going to enjoy these most, yes? So, lead in. Remember when you had problems sleeping? Hoyt experienced same thing. You might notice that his scar is gone. Hoyt, do you want to open box for him?
Sure. Now open the box.
As Rolek just goes, what's in the box? And
Just best Brad Pitt.
yep. As Hoyt, you kind of reach over to the top and you pull back. And there, in just like all of the straw that is soaked red, you see the head. A wizened old lady. Her eyes kind of rolled back, tongue lolling out. As you recognize this to be.
How did you catch her?
We have our ways. I told you she wasn't getting away.
That's code for you don't know.
You know me all too well, Rolak.
Yeah, I do.
You know I'm not a good talker.
I'm gonna spit on the head and then close it.
As he closes it back down.
Oh, that's a good omen. So I think the question now lies, since we have a plan with the guards, we have a plan for the town. The only thing that's left is, do we want to just take a short rest and then head for Kresk, or do we want to go ahead and take a long rest and head for Kresk?
I'd be fine with a short.
I think we need a rest. At least I do.
There's the X card system. Oh, I can't do it.
My vote would be that we go ahead and take a full rest, so that way when we head off, we're at full strength.
I would agree. We know the roads around here can be unfavorable.
DM question. So, Kresk, if I remember correctly from one of your old descriptions, it was a similar esque distance that Arg was. So we're talking like on the Magic School Bus, 4-hour, 3-hour drive. Is that?
Yeah.
Okay. So yeah, it's right now. It's we got a few hours till dark. If we just decided to rest now, we could actually leave before light. If we got a good 8 hours sleep, it would still be very, very early. That is, oh my God, he wrote long on a sheet of paper.
The hardest part was figuring out how to write it upside down, like backwards, so you can see how it would look right in the camera. Like, wait, that's it. Fucking.
But if we took if we slept for 8 hours, it'll be like 1, 2 in the morning. If we bed down right now, which means we could head out before it's light, and we could get there early. Because if we say we leave here at 2 in the morning, by the time we get there, it'll be 6 a.m. It'll be probably just about sunup. Thoughts?
Sounds like a good plan to me.
That'll work.
All right. Then let's bed down and everybody find a sofa, find a bed. Oh, question, Finn. Your bow that you pulled out of the bloody bathtub.
I haven't gone. I didn't know where exactly we had picked up. So I mean, the bathtub was in another room, correct?
Yeah, it was upstairs.
And last I knew, we had left the staff in the tub. We hadn't actually.
Yeah, it's
we-
currently marinating in there.
It's marinating. Last I knew.
Knack, how long does your evil staff need to marinate?
You think
Hamina, hamina, hamina.
at this point it probably needs a little bit longer, but you're not 100% sure. This is your first time using nice evil blood magic.
Yeah, I'm still a novice at blood magic, but
He's
maybe.
like, let
Probably
me
when
check
we get
my
up.
notes.
And then
That's convenient.
Hoyt,
What we're here for.
so you still have your +1 to armor that you've done, and now you've created a bag of holding. Is that correct?
The bag of holding was already on me.
Oh, okay.
I had taken my +1 down for that. So
Oh,
in
okay.
the morning I'm gonna re-up everything. for
What are you
everyone.
gonna do with all your infusions?
I'm getting Boots of the Winding Path. You're getting Mind Sharpener, and Ganon's getting Enhanced Defense.
What in the world are those boots? I'm not familiar. What are
Uh,
these magic things you're creating?
As a bonus action,
Oh.
you can teleport up to 15 feet to an unoccupied space that you can see. You must have occupied that space at some point during the current turn. So
That's
if I have to pop back somewhere,
like a weird misty step.
yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Like
So
a
like if
rewind.
something, if something
Yeah.
runs, then I can rewind to it.
Yeah,
You're pretty much
Tracer.
Tracer, Jinx.
Yeah, it's funny because it's like the I was like, oh, so it's Misty Step, and then when you mentioned the going back to somewhere you've had to already, that has some implication.
Mhm.
That's neat.
Yeah, that's a very cool ability.
Well, Booming Blade with that is also very, very, very interesting. So think about those shenanigans.
Oh heck yeah!
Oh,
Oh heck yeah!
well, no, I thought about it, then I went, oh, wait, oh.
Yeah, 'cause you could hit somebody, and then when they come to chase you, they take all that damage.
Special-
Only downside to Booming Blade is because it's a cantrip. He wouldn't get his extra attack.
It's true.
But
Or his
But-
bonus action attack, but
yeah. But just things to consider. Yeah, very very cool. Okay.
mean-
well then, I think we have our plan. We'll check on our meat that's marinating first thing in the morning.
It's more of a brine than a marinade.
Oh, okay. I apologize, Master Barbecuer. Our Voth brine.
Crazy.
and
I know, come on, you missed out on the opportunity for Voth broth.
yeah.
All right.
Voth
Oh,
broth!
yeah.
Oh, that's
Broth,
good!
That's-
Even Cell, I feel like, would be proud of that one.
Yeah.
Yeah, he
Oh,
says
God.
it sounds tasty. At first,
Yep,
I thought it was
yep.
Kind of like the
the
soup we had.
And we're just letting the
Oh.
body float in there with it, right?
Uh-huh.
Oh
Because all
god.
you did was slit his throat.
Oh, she's over there making faces. You're the one with rats running around your apartment, all right? I don't want to hear it. She's like,
Hey, that is a valid point. You got to give him that. Oh my god.
Okay.
I mean, I should clarify her D&D apartment. Her D&D apartment. Okay.
Hey, Clancy has some big
I had
news
that place
too.
fumigated.
We
Yeah,
actually
Clancy,
kind
we
of skipped
can see
over
the new
that.
digs.
Yeah, temporary. I had to set up in the living room, but eventually we'll get the D&D room ready.
It's official. She has more boxes in her background than I do.
I know. I was about to make a joke about, hey, maybe you guys can run a UPS office or something like that together. It'd be great.
Only by 2.
No, wait.
We'll pack
Did you
everything
actually
up, we'll
count?
have them.
Yeah.
Oh my god.
That's amazing.
All right, so let's all go to sleep. When we wake up, Hoyt will go ahead and re-up his special infusions. We will check on our brine and see if our turkey is ready.
Oh my god.
And
So bad. So bad.
Anyone want a good night story before we drift off to La La Land?
I was gonna ask if you wanted to do that.
oh, you want to read a chapter?
Yeah, everybody jump in!
I'm not feeling so well. I think I'm gonna go on to bed. I'll see you guys early in the morning.
Who would like to?
What is that noise?
Oh, what is that?
Anybody else hear that?
It's like a
Jeremy.
brrrr. Is that Jeremy
Yeah,
doing
we-
that on
we-
purpose?
yeah.
Is he trying to condition us to do something?
Ooh.
What is that, Jeremy?
That's Jeremy. Yeah.
Jeremy, when
Jeremy!
your mic activates, we hear a high pitched like dog buzzing, dog whistle buzzing.
I was
Um,
like,
So what he's talking about, just so y'all know, is David had told us that when he does read the book, somebody can go with him, and so then there'd be like, as an example, 2 people making a perception check, so that then the average might give you a better shot, or theoretically multiple people. I think
Should be better now.
I'm gonna volunteer Dagmar.
She is tribute.
Well, Dagmar. Well, hold on.
Sacrifice.
This is my thought process. Dagmar skill sets are almost directly opposite of Nax, so they would make a nice blend. Dagmar has great perception. She's got great eyes. I just think that they would be like they offset each other well.
Oh,
So-
thanks.
Yeah, right?
Yeah, they do, Ezra. Yes, they do.
So if y'all want to read, have at it.
It's like,
Reading
hold it.
Rainbow. Let's go.
In a book, take a look.
Oh,
Strahd's
yeah,
gonna
here we
kill
go.
you. All right, let's
Here
go.
we go.
All right, is there anything else that the rest of you guys want to do?
gargoyles in the sky.
Oh yes. Oh my God, that's some child memory right there. Yeah, is there I love that show, Gaga, so much. Sorry, that's what I thought of. Yeah, is there anything that the rest of you guys want to do while these crazy folks go jumping back into death? Jeremy is feeling himself. I love it. But is there anything that you is there anything that you guys want to do while these two are going to be jumping into magical pages?
Nope.
Chris, I see
Boy,
it. There's
put
like a
on the bed.
50% percolation. There's a thought. It's forming. Do you want to wait
No,
until after they're
no.
done with the book
Yeah,
and then you decide?
Yeah, I'll wait.
All right, let's
I'll
do it
wait,
that way.
I'm gonna. We don't have to RP this, but I'm just gonna before bed. I'm gonna kind of like talk to my patron, just briefly inside my head, just kind of almost like calling mom and updating her on how the week at college has been, and
Ask for money.
Oh my God, college students are just warlocks.
Yep.
Oh my God. Say, hey, can I get that extra spell
ask
slot
for
yet?
some new because I'm about to. I'm technically still 5. I'm gonna ask for money, aka I need a little more power. When I wake up, I'll have it.
More hot pockets.
Yeah.
Morning ramen.
That's good.
Pockets.
That's good. All right, cool. Then let's get started with the book. Where are you guys going to be reading the book?
I figured a smoking room probably. I mean, we got chairs, we got room.
Yeah, tobacco. Perfect. Victor rolls up a couple more for you guys as you start puffing away at the things. And he is incredibly engrossed with this as well. He turns to you and says, "Is there something I should do in case you do not come back?"
I mean, you guys bury me.
I was thinking of more exotic uses for your bones, but sure.
Oh, yeah. I mean, do whatever. I mean, I'm dead. What do I care?
I just wanted to make sure I have consent first.
Oh,
Turns
yeah.
towards you, Dagmar. No.
Bury me?
He takes this little booklet out and definitely just like does a and crosses out your name, you're pretty sure. Puts the pocketbook back away.
Hey, you have a list. Keep it.
Sometimes you have to check it twice. Yes.
Yeah, for sure.
All right. Well, if you don't mind, I will take notes as you do this. Please.
Absolutely. You won't see a whole lot except for maybe drooling and sporadic bleeding, but
Alrighty. All right.
Just
As
more flashbacks. So we don't have protocols for this.
all right. As you guys open that back up, the clasp on the side, silver as it is, with a little symbol of the raven kind of. And there's just like almost like this cold, chilling aura that seems to be spilling forth. Dagmar, you can kind of feel it nag. You at this point, you have become pretty accustomed to this, whereas Dagmar, for you, this is a new sensation. You saw him take the damage and feeling pretty icky about it, but at the end of the day, it was something that you only had to witness rather than be part of. As you guys go to the second chapter, The Rise of Ravenloft. Again, the words kind of seem to swim back and forth as mist is starting to pour out of the book itself. Victor is taking furious notes as your visions go black once more. You again hear the bassy voice of Strahd in the back of your minds. My army, settled in the valley, renamed for my father as we took power over the people in the name of a just God, but with none of a God's grace or justice. You guys find your vision actually within two ravens as they're just flying side by side. You see the massive body of the silver dragon collapsed and crushing the south side of a beautiful manor. And you, Dagmar Arnak, now gather that somehow this massive silver dragon was flung all the way from the sky into the side of Argynvostholt, which destroyed the south side. The body desiccated, destroyed, massive gashes on the side, its head currently getting hacked off by what looks like a man with an executioner hood. You see there's a long line of dead bodies that lies prone and decapitated, almost like leading like a path up to those individuals. You see there's a large barrel full of heads, and the executioner is just going away with a massive axe at the head of the dragon now. You see more of the tents with the banners of the Raven once more all around Argynvostholt. But this time, you fly and everything seems to kind of change as you see the sun pass a few times. And more dozens of times. The Raven's kind of flying through that situation. And finally, you guys set to the east and north, coming to the highest point, just overlooking a small village in the process of being built underneath. Both of you guys go ahead and make me a perception check. And call out what it is. Don't forget the, he is the head executioner.
I rolled 7.
Dagmar rolled a little bit better. What did you get?
17.
Awesome.
There's a reason I put them together.
Knack, you kind of look around, and you're more interested as you have landed upon these pine trees that are overlooking the valley and what's happening behind you. For you see a castle that is still in the process of being built. Down below Dagmar, you recognize this to be the village of Barovia, a place that you've been to very few times, but it seems to be kind of like just flourishing. People are coming in and out. There's quite lively amounts of trade as the beautiful sunlight is kind of bathing the valley below. No signs of the damage that was done before. As you both swivel around, you see a beautiful castle that is just in the process of being made. As both of you guys start coming down, and as these two ravens get closer to the ground, suddenly you feel yourself turn into two beautifully dressed courtiers. It seems like you're noblemen and women who are just walking up to this place, and in your minds, you know, we are here to swear fealty to Lord Strahd von Zarovich. And as you guys are walking closer and closer towards this castle, just into the front gate, you see that just beyond it, there's a curtain wall so colossal that the largest of giantkin could pass through it with ease. The wall is nearly 50 feet in height, interrupted by squared off turrets that rise even higher. The wall is further dwarfed by the rounded towers of the keep overhead, the tallest soaring easily 3 times the height of the gates. Weighted hoofs clop through the dirt and across the wood and stone behind you, the most distant of which still trod across seemingly an infinite bridge. You see, as you're standing there now, there's mist all about and around the castle here. It seems like you guys are definitely you're definitely trapped in this place. This is what this chapter's about. You guys are kind of looking at each other, and there's a smile, polite as it is between the two adjutants that you guys are, but underneath that, you guys both know who you are. It's like this weird, disjointed feeling of a memory that is relived. Now, there are a couple things that you guys know as you're stepping into this. In the back of your heads, you know that the entire land, all of the Valley of Barovia, has been taken over by Lord Zarovich. You also know that Rahadin, again the Dusk Elf that had traveled and was one of the commanders of Strahd, as well as Alec, are aware that there is an assassin hidden amongst the forces that seeks to eliminate Strahd. Finally, you guys know that there was a man who was captured and executed, who was in possession of a dagger commonly carried by the mystical Baal Verzi, which is an assassin's guild, but they do not believe that he was the actual assassin. So as you're stepping forward, you have this knowledge that suddenly just pours into your mind. And as you're stepping through the massive gate, you guys are just kind of talking towards each other. What kind of conversation would you guys imagine these two adjutants to have that are now weirdly also you two?
I imagine we would be making small talk, especially walking through up to this wall. But it would not be like easy small talk. It would be like very hesitant, very light, like nothing. We wouldn't say anything out of place.
I hear red is really becoming in fashion now. With the nobles.
Wonder if it's because Strahd is so keen on the color.
So you guys are having that wonderfully awkward conversation with one another. You see that there are more adjutants standing around. There are some knights as well as squires running about, but then suddenly there's just some kind of cold ring of a blade being unsheathed that puts the entire square into silence. Everybody stops. As you can see, Strahd has actually stepped up in full outfit towards the middle of the courtyard. As he clutches tightly to a red, black, and gold dagger. Its finely crafted hilt leads to a sinister curved blade like a kris. He kneels and wrenches his left hand into the soil, returning to his feet with dirt crumbling from between his knuckles. He points to the tip of the dagger briefly to the north, to the east, to the south, and finally to the west, like a priest blessing a congregant with holy water before stabbing it lightly into the mud-caked palm. A mixture of dirt and blood drips as he squeezes. As he says, "I am Strahd. I am the land. I am Strahd. I am the land. I am Strahd. I am the land." As the blood just keeps going down, it seems like the wound is actually much deeper than it appeared at first, as he says it one more time. "I am Strahd. I am the land." And he has turned into each one of the cardinal directions before he finally stops. "Draw near and witness. I, Strahd, am the land." You feel that blood and magic meet the soil, and the sky itself seems to be wallowed. As mist just pours over the walls, through the gate behind you guys, and everything just disappears. Again, being in this vision of mist, you hear Strahd's older, deeper voice say, "All goodness slipped from my life. I will find my youth and strength gone, and all I had left was death." You emerge from the void, and you find yourself in Strahd's personal study, as it ever so slightly just burns away. As it is kind of crackling, there's a little fireplace. You see a high-backed chair, as well as bookcases, a nice chaise, and a couple other couches just sitting there. The soft burning of the fire just kind of puts you guys at ease. What feeble light burns in the dimming fireplace is enough to fill the room with rolling waves of red and amber light, illuminating rows and rows of ancient books, their leather covers well oiled and preserved through careful use. Large gaps span segments of the shelves, likely left to fill in more knowledge. The stone floor here is concealed beneath thick, luxurious rugs. In the center of the room is a large, low table waxed and polished to a mere finish. When the poker, even in the poker in the stand next to the blazing fireplace seems to be polished, everything seems to be overly looked after and attended to. In this study, a carved desk houses several scrolls of parchment, opened books, and candles burned nearly to the wick. In one of the two chairs, crafted of burgundy-colored wood with padded leather seats, that faces the hearth, you can hear Lord Strahd von Zarvich as his head rests on his left hand. A letter is gripped tightly in the other. You guys look at each other. Go ahead and make me an insight, intelligence check, if you guys would.
$21.
I'm totally forgetting how to do insight intelligence. I apologize.
On the right side there, if you look at insight and to the right of it, where it says Wiz right now, click on that. It'll be a drop-down menu. Click on Int.
It was something like that, but thank you. Wow.
Dagmar, you are actually an acolyte of a priest who stands next to you, who is Knack in this scenario. You are known as Father Gabriel Andrel, also named after the church that is currently being built in Valakia as well, St. Andrel's Church. As the priest of the church, you have devoutly worshipped the Morning Lord ever since you can remember, ever since you grew up in the orphanage. And you have come into this moment to, well, make your Lord feel better, for it has now been made known to the rest of the people that his beloved mother, Queen Ravenovia, is dead. The castle that he had built for her, she never saw. So Ravenloft, which bears its namesake for the mother, now lies empty, without a wife of Zarovich's, his father dead, his mother dead, and only his brother remaining. You're here to try to convince him to go on a walk, to get his mind off of things, and hopefully accept the kindness, the light of the Morning Lord in this trying time. What do you say, Knack?
My lord, I know that your heart must be heavy for this loss. She was dear to us all. Please, come with us. Let us walk in the morning light to remember her as she was.
Dagmar, what, if anything, do you say to try to help with that?
Perhaps you will be reminded of her beauty and kindness and the flowers that bask in the morning Lord's sun. Let us not let those good memories fade.
Go ahead and make me a persuasion check with advantage, Knack. Alrighty. He goes, fine. As he kind of like takes the letter and stuffs it into like a little bit of a pocket inside of his petticoat. As he steps up, you see he doesn't look as injured, wounded, or anything else as he did. There's not even a limp to his walk, but you can tell that a different kind of weight weighs on his shoulders as he steps around the chair. Father Andro, you know that I do not put stock in your god of the sun, but I know he gives, what is it, peace to the common folk. Tell me, Where do souls go when they die and they do not believe in a god?
Those souls who do not believe are ever tortured. They're lost to all time. They go to the deepest depths of hell. For how could you not believe when we live in the world that they create?
Is there no other option? Just live in servitude to some lord for eternity, or be sent to the hells. Is that it?
That is our job as mortals. That is our way. That is our destiny.
And he kind of like pushes past both of you guys, kind of shouldering past you guys. Knack, you get a point of GM inspiration there. Very nice roleplay for someone that you didn't know you're gonna be. As you guys are starting to walk, you guys walk down this long gallery, and you can look out and down below onto the valley itself. As Strahd puts his hands behind his back. And you, I'm guessing you grew up in the church, yes?
Yes, sir.
Do you believe that only those who believe in your Lord should be blessed?
Holly looked nervously over at the other one. I believe all who are good and righteous in their beliefs and their deeds could receive a blessing.
He kind of looks at you with a long, hard look. How do you define good and righteous, acolyte?
Well, my lord, I know good is gray, but if you are to bask in the light and provide light and joy to others, I believe that's as good as we can become.
So,
Every mortal is selfish, and that is a sin that we all have to carry.
I have given everything to the people who live in this valley. My blood, my devotion, my time, my toil, my men, my gold, my care. Even if I do not give lip service to your sun god, do I still qualify as a good and righteous person then?
I believe so, sir, and I'm sure you can see that in the smiles of those who have come to enjoy what you have sacrificed.
What about you, Andro?
The light that you have provided these people, whether or not you knew it, the Morning Lord shines through you onto these people, creating a happy realm. Yes, much has been sacrificed. We all must make sacrifices to have the things that we need, and it does not go unnoticed. I believe that the Morning Lord works through you, even if you don't pay lip service.
You guys, the three of you, kind of look out ponderingly down now as you guys have actually crossed quite a ways and you are up on the higher parapets where you can actually look down upon the courtyard. Both of you go ahead and make me a perception check.
22.
Ooh, alrighty. As you guys are walking,
Everything.
yeah,
I sh-
Andrel.
So I literally was like, what has Nax, before this, I was like, what has Nax sucked about? And it was like perception checks and like dexterity in that one fight. And I was like, what is Clancy awesome at? Dexterity and perception. And I'm like, do you believe in matches made?
Are you trying to ship Knack and
Oh, I'm
Nakmar?
playing matchmaker. 100%.
Nakmar.
No, please not this.
Well, you
again.
can't do Dak.
Or-
Dak would be terrible.
We'll always be with him, one way or the other.
Nakmar.
Yeah.
Nakmar's nice.
Oh, he'd reanimate her. That's so
That
bad.
is disgusting.
Make it happen, Captain.
Nope.
So what you're saying is it wouldn't be until death do us part. It would be
Forever.
until
Only at
forever?
death is when we start. You know what I'm
Death
saying?
is only the beginning? Yeah.
No,
All right.
this
This is the X card right there.
Yeah.
Alrighty, as you
Oh god.
as you guys are walking by, you watch as Andrel and it kind of goes off, and he's just like self-satisfiedly just like, oh yes, kind of looking over the courtyard, looking at everything. Thinks he like really landed a good argument. Strahd, however, seemed to have completely stopped paying attention there for a minute, for he's looking down, and he seems to be following a young woman through the courtyard. She's has these kind of like fairly plain gray robes with some nice embroidering that she must have done herself. Wearing kind of like not a full ponytail, but one of those that is like laying on top of the flat hair in the back, and she's kind of like walking with a big, beautiful smile. You see her amber hair kind of pulled back. You see the beautiful brown eyes, and Dagmar, as your eyes are now transfixed upon this woman, you recognize this to be Irina. But this must have been hundreds of years ago at this point.
It's the chick from the statue.
How was she? And as you see him just go, maybe I have been too focused on the past to appease a family that I was born into, rather than one that I have chosen. As he still follows her across the courtyard. Maybe it is time to start a family. Priest, Acolyte, thank you for your time. Please, follow me. And as you guys are walking back towards the study, I would like you to make an accounting of the books that are here, which is the reason you were called. Categorize them with an inventory up. I want to know what I have to buy more from. I would like to know everything I can about this land. Thank you for your service. As he kind of crumples up the letter and throws it into the fire. And it starts burning as he walks out of the room and closes the door behind him. What do you guys do?
I'm gonna look for any especially made book in here, like something that would just like stands out as more than what it should be.
Alrighty. Go ahead and make me an investigation check. What about you, Dagmar?
Yeah, I mean, I'm gonna definitely start looking for.
21.
Damn. I'm gonna start looking for. Sorry, just to be clear, you're checking for like hidden things, right?
He's looking for a book, like the most amazing
Yeah.
book that he might be able to find.
I just want to make sure. Then I want to check and see if there's any hidden things like in the room. Like I'm thinking like the whole like hidden compartments and maybe a desk if that's in here, or you know, that kind of thing.
Book
Make me-
that pops out and
Yeah,
makes
the-
a thing go.
As Knack is pulling a book, you go, no, this one! Chink. Go to make me a perception check.
Did you roll a 21? Did I hear that right, Jerry?
Yeah. Sure did.
I love how like when he actually has help, he's like just fucking like, I don't need this. Boom. Actually,
crush it.
Clancy did save your ass on a couple of those perception
Yes.
rolls. I take that
And
back.
that's a 20 for me. Dirty 20.
Alrighty, a
Dirty
dirty 20. Alrighty. As you guys are starting to kind of split up, and you feel it's weird, like desynchronization as you guys are certainly walking around and looking at the books, and Knack, you feel your character starting to take those notes on the books, but in the back of your mind, you're kind of looking around and you look at the different titles, as you do see that there's quite a bit about the history of the land. You get a lot of stuff about, you know, everything that might be interesting for someone who first comes here. As you look through that stuff, you do find some high-quality spellbook parchment, as well as spell components that seem to have been arranged on that stuff. In fact, as an equivalent, you find approximately 300 gold pieces worth of transcription materials. So that is the stuff that you would need in order to transcribe the spell into your spellbook. On the flip side, as you look around Dagmar, you kind of check, and there's something odd about the way that the portrait here hangs. You see what appears to be a portrait of King Barov as well as his wife, Queen Ravenovia. But their faces seem to be kind of blurred and shifting, almost as if there's a shadow hanging over it. But there are two pools of black where the eyes are on each one of the portrait individuals, and it's just like darker, more focused, sharper. And as you are walking around the room, as much as Knack, you feel these entities just watching you.
That's super. Love it.
Super.
That's super.
Supernatural.
Supernatural.
Knack, I don't know how this works. Do we need to actually do what we were told to do in order to progress the story?
He's just like, yes, yes, as he's picking up all of these like supplies and kind of like, oh god, I mean, bad guano, wonderful. And he's like getting all of these spell components together.
I feel like she needs to be like, hey, you realize you can't take any of this shit with you. It's a dream.
I was about to ask that. Like, can you actually take this shit? Or...
Well, technically, he
that
took a sword
sword.
last
I
time.
got a sword last time, so I'm gonna try.
Yeah, who knows? He's gonna grab all his papers and be like, there's no place like home. There's no place like home. There's no place like home. Start clicking his heels together.
God.
Yeah, don't do that.
Out of curiosity, I'm gonna touch the painting, just the frame, not the painting itself, but the frame.
You see all four of the pools of blackness just follow you along, and you kind of feel like almost like a rumbling in the very aura as you touch the frame. And the door opens up behind you guys, and mist just comes pouring into the room. I need both of you guys to make me Constitution saving throws.
Oh no, I regret. I'm sorry.
Now this feels like these book I've been used to. There we go.
Ooh, 11. Ooh.
Not terrible, but it'll probably fail.
As both of you guys are struggling, suddenly the mist pours in and seems to just seep the energy, life force, and any kind of warmth that is in your bones out of you. You're like, and as you guys are starting to scream, the rest of you guys, if you're watching or not watching, Victor certainly is taking notes. They're just kind of shaking back and forth. Both of you guys get a level of exhaustion.
Ooh.
However, as you feel your minds kind of being yanked out of the book and back into your bodies, you hear Strahd's voice one more time. Escape from my isolation of death was impossible. In my many years, I learned that the brightest days cast the darkest shadows. And as that kind of hangs there in the air for a moment afterwards, you guys... and you see as the mist kind of goes back into the book, Knack, a new page seems to materialize itself in front of you. This one is going to be Gentle Repose, which you now will be able to cast as a ritual once per day.
Do you know what that is?
Mm-hmm. Prevents anybody from
Totally.
being rezzed, essentially. It's a blessing on the dead body.
I hope that's not foreshadow.
All right. Since they finished reading, can we go ahead and take our long rest?
Please.
Sure, are you guys keeping guard?
Oh, good point. point.
Phineas.
Phineas.
I'll take
Phineas.
Phineas.
second
Phineas,
watch.
this is.
Phineas. Sorry, we're just being stupid.
How many watches do we need, David?
I mean, 4 ideally if you guys are trying to keep up with it, but up to you guys.
Okay. I'll take 1. Finn is taking 1. Gannon's taking 1. We need 1 more.
I can also take one since I
Okay.
only need 4 hours.
There we go. Well, she
You
only
should
needs
take
4
2.
hours. Then can't she take? She can take 2.
I'm kidding. I don't.
Well, no, she's got the best perception of all of us.
Good point.
So me, Finn, and then Clance can take 2.
Sounds good.
There's mine.
Oh, perception. Okay. I clicked it.
Victor, did you get
still-
good notes?
Why is it not rolling?
There it is.
Here it goes.
That just might be a slow internet or something.
Oh.
Alrighty.
Did it not roll 16?
No, it
Yeah,
rolled.
we
It worked.
got it.
Yeah.
Oh,
We have 3. Do you guys want to do one more?
Oh,
Clancy's got to do.
Okay,
Clancy
I
got
gotta
to
do
do
Clancy
one.
did one. She made a perception check after you roll it.
She was taking 2 watches because she only has to sleep for.
You have
4
disadvantage
hours.
on that though.
Oh, shoot.
Oh.
For sure. Alright, let me do that other roll.
Which would
that
be
last
one.
one
Well,
sounds good.
actually, here's the thing. You could take your you could take your rest first and then do the watches, and then you don't have disadvantage.
Okay.
You see what I'm
So
saying?
there
Like
are
you
2
trance
rolls.
4
Yeah,
hours,
that-
and then the last 4 hours you watch. Alrighty, cool. So as you guys take your time and kind of simmer down, Phineas, the house goes
What's up?
quiet. The guards are kind of going around, and you find yourself kind of antsy, kind of pacing back and forth as
Okay.
you hear a little bit of a.
Oh, my old friend. What's up, brah?
Hard to hear you, David.
Yeah, I can't hear you. I'm gonna kind of glance around. Where are you?
And you can kind of tell it came from upstairs.
I'll go upstairs.
And you hear a door kind of.
I'm gonna peek my head and be like, "Hello."
And as you go in there, there's just a dark room with a clawfoot tub still in the very back of it.
A little
By
bit,
the way-
a slight amount of PTSD.
What did you guys do with Voss' body after?
It's still in the tub.
It's
Okay.
100% floating in the tub. That's right.
As
That's why I
his
said
body's
earlier
just
I was like,
still kind of.
when you
Splash,
split it and
splash, I was
stand there,
taking a
bath.
he just been floating.
Sorry.
Well, when you're processing meat, you usually hang them up by their feet
Well, because
over
because
the
I
tub
think
to help
I think that
drain.
yeah, he's
Oh,
in the
okay.
broth broth. I think the ultimate goal was that he was going to get crispified, and then he was going to get
No, that was not the plan.
They all float in there.
Oh.
You suddenly see Voth's body kind of twitch for a second as an arm kind of lifts itself out of the blood and just kind of rights itself. It seems to right itself with the spear in hand as it kind of slips and catches itself on the edge of the thing, and it turns around and you see there's just like red energy percolating within the irises. Take your prize.
He's just gonna walk straight over, no hesitation, be like, "Cool!" And he's gonna reach out to grab the staff or the crossbow, crossbow, whatever it is right now.
Spear.
Well, I didn't know if it was still a spear, staff, whatever.
You step forward and you see the spear that's the Voth puppet is kind of riding itself on. It's still there, but the wood is completely soaked through with the blood of Voth. And as you step forward, there seems to be almost like a swirling energy within the pool itself.
Okay, I'm gonna grab the staff, the spear. I'm gonna kind of lean over the tub a little bit. Like, I'm assuming it's a standard 12-foot tub, so I'm kind of tight, like,
And as you lean over, you suddenly feel a push from the Voth puppet, pushing you over and into the tub. It's just like,
"Oh, he's swimming!
Make me a strength saving throw.
Can't just let it happen." I don't fucking.
Bob
I'm
over
just
here
kidding.
trying to drown you.
Sal
Use Voth
Chat is
broth.
like, yes, yes.
Uh-huh.
Wow.
You fail.
What the fuck?
As this thing has the most insane iron
Yes!
grip to it. And just like, as you are underneath the blood, you see the stitched together parts of the hand and the arm completely just having you underneath you, like, as you're trying to grab at it and kind of like twist around. You feel the hand just like on your maw and on your throat as you're like, and you feel it's almost like a toddler when you're trying to like open their mouth a little bit so you can brush their teeth. It just goes full, just and like forces your mouth open, and almost through the water you can hear the Voth puppet just kind of scream, drink, drink, and it's just like just keeping you underneath. All right, as you as you take a gulp of the blood.
Let me just to clarify, David. He just took a gulp of Voss broth.
Multi-hour-old Voth's broth.
Kind of tastes like that soup we ate.
Little
Oh, yeah.
congealed.
I forgot
That is a
about
bad
that soup.
flashback. All right,
Ugh.
as you
Oh, Bob.
take a
Sal, he just drank your bathwater, by the way.
you take that gulp and kind of go back up. You're completely just drenched in blood.
Oh,
However,
dude, I
as
just
you-
pictured.
As you go up, you look down, and the first thing that you notice is there's this crossbow of yours, except now it seems to have all of these weird crystalline adornments across it. It almost looks like this weird shiny material that kind of wraps itself around it. And it seems to have just like this ruby-like quality as you pick it up. And you're just like... But then you look behind you, and in fact, Voth is still in the tub, face down into it. And it looks like there's no splatter from the blood of him like getting out of it like you had seen the first time. As you now remember, you yourself stepping forward, stepping into the bathtub, laying back into it, holding yourself underwater, under blood, until you swallowed it.
Mmm. Oh God. Okay. Self-drowned myself.
We had the quote of the night, David. I'm sure you didn't see it, but Sal told Finn to take him, to quote, "Take me inside you."
Why did the snozzberries taste like snozzberries?
Yeah, Jesus Christ. Woo.
So just to clarify, so his hand crossbow has basically adornments all over it now, correct?
It seems like it. Like this weird glass-like material that is partially see-through. It seems to be shiny, almost like polished ruby.
Cool.
So. I'm gonna kind of take up the I'm gonna reach down to pick up the crossbow. Does anything happen when I pick it up?
It's a perfect fit. Where before it worked pretty well. You kind of had this little hand crossbow that you were given from someone else. This thing is perfect. Like it seems like somebody perfectly measured out your hand, and it's just this perfect little groove. You can feel your fingers kind of go into the rivets of the trigger mechanism underneath it, and as you feel it, it's just perfectly balanced as the blood just drips off of it into the bathtub.
Drips up into the bathtub, and I'm standing on the outside of the bathroom.
You're still
Alright,
sitting in the bathtub. Yeah, it's still in the
Okay.
blood.
So I'm just gonna kind of grab the crossbow. I'm gonna kind of fold it over my hand, and I'm gonna kind of point it forward and point it this way, and realize that it just feels quite a bit more aerodynamic than normally, and it almost seems to mold to my hand a little bit. I know it sounds kind of weird, not literally, but it just felt like a direct extension of my hand. I'm gonna kind of go. And at that point, I'm gonna kind of lean and I'm gonna smell it just a little bit, just to see what it smells like. I'm kind of I'm uncomfortable with all this. I'm gonna kind of smell it and see if it smells like Voth.
It
or
smells
if it
like
smells brand new, or
smells like a recent kill. It smells like
Oh,
iron in the air. It smells the way that anxiety pushes adrenaline into a creature before you fell it. To you as a hunter, it feels like the best kill of your life.
So I'm gonna step out of the bathtub. I'm gonna kind of walk over towards the door, and right before I open the door, I'm gonna pause. I'm gonna turn back around. I'm gonna look at the bathtub and go, "You still here, friend?"
And you just hear a little voice that is very different. Always.
He's gonna kind of smirk, and as he goes to put it on his back, he's gonna kind of glance down at the side, and there's gonna be a bunch of on the right side of the crossbow. There's gonna be a bunch of markings. Look like someone took like a knife or something and just carved a bunch of markings, and it's completely covering the whole right side of that. And then he goes, "Oh," and they're like slowly appearing one by one, and then they're getting kind of faster and faster and faster until almost the entire right side of the crossbow is covered. He's gonna go, and he's gonna kind of turn the crossbow to the left to see if the other side has it. But on the left side, there's gonna be some names slowly writing themselves into the crossbow itself. And the first name is he's gonna recognize it as the word Jinn, which would be Ginn, and there's gonna be a space. It's gonna have Chloe's name is written right there. And a 2-word name, and he can't quite read it. He's gonna kind of look close at it, and it's gonna say Baba Yaga on it. And then it's gonna say Zachiel. And then it's gonna say Strahd. And he kind of looks over it and kind of smiles a little bit. And then he's gonna hear Kevin's growl, if you will, like his little murmur, and then a slight blue line is going to go through Jin's name, Chloe's name, Baba Yaga's name, but Zachiel and Strahd's name are going to be just there, just plain, no markings, smooth. And Finn's going to kind of recognize what this means. He's just going to look at it. He's going to smile. He's going to put the crossbow on his back, kind of look back towards the bathtub and go, "How the fun really begins." And he's just going to walk downstairs.
And as you step downstairs with the blood just still dripping off of you, leaving bloody footprints on the carpet it steps down, that's where we'll take a quick break. We'll see you guys, we'll say 40 minutes after the hour. See you guys soon. And we are back, everyone. Thank you guys for the wait. So we're picking back up as a dripping with blood red Finn is coming down the stairs, admiring the new crossbow that he has in his hand. That said, anything else that you guys want to do during this time? Let's say that was kind of like part of your watch.
Did you already?
Do we need to identify
No.
the crossbow?
Yes.
Have you added it to my inventory?
No.
No, you haven't. Okay.
No, it
Yeah,
hasn't
we
been
added-
identified.
yeah.
We can do that in the morning then.
Cool.
Nope. Ready to take rest.
Mm-hmm.
Finn's not even going to attempt to clean himself off. He's just going to lay down in the corner and kind of lean against the wall,
Oh.
put the crossbow to his chest, and just lay there and get nice and crusty.
You said that you wanted to commune with your patron. Is that right, Rolek?
Yeah, we don't. I mean,
Yeah,
if you
just
want
for
to RP it, we can.
No, that's okay.
But yeah, that was all I was going to do.
You take some quiet time to yourself in a corner. Yeah.
Hey,
Fancy enough for the first time things. Well, I'm in this group. Ganon, anything about you?
No, he's a big struggle. So he's just gonna try and knock out as much as he can.
He's dealing with some shit right now.
Yeah. I don't know how well he's gonna sleep, but he's dealing.
Alrighty, and yeah, if you guys have anything else, the Discord messages are great, but it's going to be hard for me to keep track of that one. If you guys have something that is at the beginning, you guys all get your long rest, so I'm going to mark that off. But aside from that, what else do you guys want to do that night, the evening, the before, anything like that, in the morning? Go ahead and describe it if you guys want. And I believe, Hoyt, you have something, right?
Yeah. Hoyt's gonna get up, don his armor, and do his normal routine in the morning. David had described to you guys that I had the scar that was over my eye had disappeared. That eye is functional now. But his hair was still white. With his battle with Morgantha, Hoyt ended up suffering some kind of disability to his person, to which he had to take the potion which y'all had left. Hoyt had gotten cursed.
okay.
Just so happens Hoyt was cursed when he came. When y'all come downstairs and see him sitting in the smoking room, his hair is no longer white. It is thick and brown, braided with adornments for the, as you can see on his new icon. His skin is no longer pale. It's actually the tannish color of the actual hill dwarf, the way it's supposed to be. He's a little bit stockier. His voice hasn't changed, but just his overall appearance has changed. And you haven't seen him in full regalia. You've just seen him in the armor. You haven't seen the helmet or anything like that he's donned yet, which you'll see when he gets ready to go.
I mean,
So,
if you want to describe it now, as you guys are kind of getting ready,
Okay.
it is still pitch black pretty much outside.
the helmet has two horns that come down from the top and curl towards the front. That kind of it's almost like cheek guards in a way. And the helmet is thin and cuts down over the eye there, so that he can see, and comes down skinny for his nose and widens out for his mouth. And it's kind of like a black and silver kind of deal, like almost shadowed in a way. His
So
helmet
it's similar
match-
to the art, but just different color scheme. Is that
Yes,
correct?
different color scheme, but very similar to the art. Yes. So that's
Oh yeah,
the
very
new.
Spartan-esque.
the new Hoyt.
Greek.
Hoyt 2.0.
Yep.
Alrighty. As you guys get in the morning, do you guys bring Esmeralda with you as well?
Bring her where?
To Kresk. That's where you guys are headed, right?
I mean, she's gonna have to drive.
Yeah,
the
I
wagon.
mean, I don't think she's going to let us take her wagon, without her.
The whip.
Yeah, and I feel like we've started to develop a good rapport with her. So I think in the morning, the first things we want to do is have Hoyt. I'm just making a checklist because last time we left town, we forgot some things. Hoyt needed to do some infusions. He also needed to go ahead and ID Finn's crossbow. And was there anything else that we needed to do before we leave?
Alriady.
I think that was all everything.
After you identify the blood bone, it's weird. It seems to be almost scarlet dye. The wood itself, wherever it kind of shows through, seems to be just reddish. And as you look upon it, Hoyt, you feel uneasy. Like there's just a discomfort. And Dagmar, you kind of see Hoyt at the morning table as you guys are like having a very early breakfast. Seems to kind of shiver despite himself. And you look down at the bow, and you, again, same feeling for you as well. You kind of shudder at everything that bow represents. But as you guys...
Sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt. Sorry. Go for
No,
it.
you go for it.
I was gonna say I didn't know we were starting right away. There is one thing that Dagmar would like to do now that the crossbow is done marinating.
Never gets better.
Never gets better.
Good old Brian.
Had to say it too.
That'll be the bow's
Dagmar would
name,
like
Bran.
to- Oh God, Dagmar would like to bury Both and give him his last rites.
Ooh. All right.
That's what she does.
It's gonna be messy.
As you walk up the stairs,
Oh, 100%.
you see the little bloody footprints. Snack, sorry, was it a hand raise or?
Sorry,
Yeah,
Max,
I was-
thought you were gonna stop me.
No, I was. Oh, no. I was just gonna prestidigitation, clean up. Like I would be like walking, like looking at Finn while he's still sleeping, like cleaning him, and then just like seeing the footprints leading away. I'm like, oh, God damn it! And then just
Nah.
like walking along.
Knack, make me an Arcana check. Or actually, sorry, just a straight intelligence check.
That's a
You
9.
take your prestidigitation, you step over, and you kind of like flick away, and it's like almost as if you took a rag and you try to clean out the blood off of him, and nothing. It has no effect. You try to wipe it off. You even kind of think, maybe I should make a jeb just to clean him and try that. Like, it's not worth it. You kind of like take a little bit of his mantle and kind of like try to like use that to scrub it off. The crusted on blood. It's almost like you try to wipe it away, and for a second it looks like it's gone, but it's still there after the wipe is done.
Yes.
And I'm like, all right, well, that's there now.
Ain't no Mr. Clean in Barovia, bitch. Hey, fuck. Get one of them magic erasers, son.
I'm gonna leave that alone and walk away.
Alrighty. As you step up, however, you are able to get the blood from the footsteps cleaned out. There seems to be just a little bit of almost like an after shadow of where the footsteps were. It's never going to be perfect, you think, but it looks a little bit better. And you guys get up there, and as you open the door and step inside, Thoth's body still unceremoniously, like a pig left to drain, is hanging over the edge of the tub.
Seriously? You guys just...
I mean, I didn't know how long we were supposed to be there, so we just.
Okay. I've worked with messier.
It's
I have questions.
Not our finest moment.
Alrighty, you guys.
We were busy.
Do you guys physically hoist Voth, or sorry, it's become so normal.
Go ahead,
Jason,
lift
it's
me
been so-
upon shoulders.
Or do you guys use like your unseen servant or something?
Oh yeah, definitely using Alec for that.
Okay,
Coward.
As the body seems to kind of just like go up by itself and kind of go around, and it almost looks like a marionette that is being kind of shook back and forth.
Hey, look, he's better.
Thanks to Ezira's comment, I half expected to see this. The straight weekend at Bernie's, just
Nobody's playing any music though. That's the only way you can.
Very true.
Alrighty.
shoot.
The figure kind of seems almost like weirdly marionette like style dance down the stairs as you guys bring it out towards the backyard of the house. You guys spend an hour or so kind of digging the hole, magically helped in some way, I'm sure. As you guys do, and ultimately put Voth into the grounds there. What, if anything, do you say, Dagmar, as you give the last rites?
We didn't know you for long, and I know when I say you, I mean many, but I hope we can lay you all your souls to rest. And I know you said it a lot, but maybe you never heard it. You were awesome too. You were amazing. Thank you for everything. And yeah.
Alrighty. You turn around, Dagmar, and there's just a wild-eyed Phineas just at the window, just looking down, watching you guys. Just kidding.
as the grave lowers. Thanks for the moment. Just kidding.
Way to ruin the moment.
I'm kidding. No, I'm just kidding.
I know.
Finn, you wake up and you notice that there's still all this kind of dried, caked blood upon your scales.
I'm gonna kind of lean up from against the wall, and I'm gonna stretch. And as I stretch, and you feel your skin kind of stretch a little bit, and if you ever had a cut when you feel like the tightness when it tries to pull the hair apart a little bit from like the scab almost. I'm gonna feel it like stretch, but it never felt like it cracked or anything. It's gonna kind of be one with the skin. I'm gonna kind of take my hand. I'm gonna rub it across. I'm gonna rub it back and go, huh? Okay. And
However, as you rub it, it seems to start flaking off of you. However, where you touch it, that whitish scale tinge that you have seems to kind of give way, and it's almost like you're rubbing the sand all over yourself, and you try to rub it off more and more, but it seems like your scales seem to die as you try to rub the blood off of you.
So am I a red tint now, is what you're saying?
Seems like you're turning into a red tint wherever you're trying to rub the blood off.
Hold it together, Chris. Hold it together. So Finn's gonna notice that his skin is somewhat resembling that of a red cobalt, and he's gonna kind of look down and go, "I knew it." And he's just gonna kind of walk back over, and he's gonna look around. And he doesn't see the crossbow, because well, Hoy has it. And he's gonna jump up and kind of go, and you're gonna hear for the first time a little more deeper, I guess you could say, "Where is it?" I'm gonna look around, and do I see anything when I look around? Do I see where Hoyt is? Do I see anybody?
Yeah, he's just out of the door as you kind of come down.
Okay.
However, the first thing that kind of catches you is just like, "Where is it?" There's kind of like a splashing noise coming out of the tub. And it seems like all the red footprints that led out are gone.
I'm gonna kind of glance back over the footsteps. Brain's pulling me in one direction, and almost as if I can feel what direction I need to head to get to the crossbow. It's gonna kind of tug on me a little bit. I'm gonna look over at the crossbow, or look over where the footsteps used to be. And do I notice anything about the footsteps? Where
Just
they
that
used
there's
to be?
still
Do
a
I see?
faint outline of them, but the bloody
Okay.
footprints have been lifted, almost cleaned out of it. You've seen Knack do his magic before. You feel like his OCD probably kicked in.
Like I said, so I'm gonna glance over at that. I'm gonna look back, and I'm just gonna kind of feel my heart. I want my left side of my body kind of turn me back towards the door, and I'm not gonna walk towards the door, out looking for seeing what I see.
Your little lizard footsteps carry you closer to the door, and as your hand kind of goes around the door frame and you look inside, there you see just some splashing and some kind of a tail whipping back and forth, as well as little clawed feet just splash, splash, splash.
Okay. So I'm gonna kind of walk up to it and kind of glance over the edge.
And as you glance over the edge, there you see, just like a dog that is absolutely getting itself into the filthiest rotting animal carcass it can find out in the woods, Kevin is just like kind of stretching as you feel a hand kind of place upon your shoulder. And you look to the left, and there seems to be almost like this vibrating energy, red, and it's kind of like the form seems to have a hard time to stay together, and it kind of looks like Kylo Ren's lightsaber again, with where the edges kind of are starting to vibrate. And as you look over your back, you see that spirit once more from when Ganon had the duel with Varen.
Hello.
And there's just like this big, white, predatory grin that extends as this human barbarian seeming man with his exposed chest, and just like it seems like he's dripping wet. His blood is just coming off of the spirit. You have begun proving yourself. Yes, you do not have to hide yourself anymore. But I need more blood. News. You can be yourself now. You can hunt. And he kind of looks towards it kind of goes up, and you can see Kevin seems to be able to see that spirit.
I'm gonna glance over at Kevin, and go, and I recognize that Kevin can see him.
Mm-hmm.
I'm slightly confused because I would not be aware that Kevin could see this, because my interpretation is that he would be some sort of, I don't know, astral ghost type creature. I'm gonna
It
glance
seems
over
like-
at Kevin and go, look back at him, look back at Kevin and go. I'm gonna not so much telepathically, but just kind of speak in Draconic and be like, you can see him?
And you,
But in Draconic.
there's just like a little nod coming from Kevin as it's kind of like lolling out its tongue. There's blood dripping off of it as it kind of goes back and gets some from the tub and jumps out. Shakes itself as blood just splatters all over you some more. And then seems to just disappear. But normally where there's kind of like this puff of blue magic that then goes back into the egg, suddenly there seems to be a purplish haze as there's some note of that red essence of the spirit, and then sucks back into your egg as you see the scales themselves suddenly have all of these veins that run through it, marbling almost, red lines that crisscross all across these blue scales.
My eyes are gonna get very large. I'm just gonna turn my head from where Kevin was. I'm gonna glance right back over towards the spirit and just go, "What did you do?"
You can hunt now. And the spirit just kind of disappears.
And I'm gonna put the crossbow, or I'm not gonna put the crossbow. I'm gonna look over where the crossbow was laying in the tub. And I don't see anything else in there, and I'm just gonna go,
Oh, the other thing that you do notice, the
Okay.
night before as you kind of got out, you had left the spear kind of in the tub. You look down
Yeah.
and you see that there's just all of this shattered wood. It seems like just centuries old wood that has finally splintered apart and is kind of floating there. You see the very tip of the spear that once existed with its extremely sharp steel edge seems to have actually rusted and crumbled away. for the spears no more.
So before I leave the room, I'm gonna, as I reach to open the door where I came into the bathroom, kind of pause and just kind of say something to myself. I'm gonna go, just hold it together, Finn. You've done well for a few months now, so.
And you hear
I'm
Vaught's
gonna
voice
pause.
go, "You have."
I heard Vought's voice?
Hmm.
Oh, that's new. And before I open the door, I'm gonna keep it together. You can hold it. I'm gonna hear Voss say that, and I'm gonna go. And my eyes are gonna kind of roll up a little bit. They don't need to know. And I'm just gonna walk downstairs.
Alrighty. Hoyt, you find out with your ritual spell that it appears that the infusion that you previously had on the bow is still in effect. However, your infusion no longer needs to be in effect. It seems like the bow itself replicated that exactly, but there's something weird about it. As you're trying to figure it out, every single time you try to push it and get more information out of it, something just repels you. And you get the sense that there is potential that is still untapped within the bow to be unlocked.
Grows with power.
However,
Intriguing.
one sensation that you carry away is a deep, unrelenting hunger.
Oh, what's Phineas got himself into?
Alright, so for mechanical reasons, because I want these players to know, and I'll talk with them in more detail about that in between sessions, but you have started yourself on a path of a piety system. If you have no idea what the fuck that is, Chris, but you probably do because of Theros and you guys looking at Odyssey, the more blood god related things you do, the more powerful this thing is going to get and benefits you're going to get.
This shit's gonna get weird, and I love it. It's like remember that, those parts where you're like, here's an evil campaign and here's a good campaign, and they're somewhere in between. I feel like the roller coaster just reached the top just a little bit.
No, you've about started going down.
As you go back to the good characters, Dagmar and Nak. What?
I mean,
I'm going to use that word loosely.
All right, Finn, you walk over, you grab your crossbow from Hoyt. He explains all of that stuff. It's like, Hoyt, how do you phrase it? I love Hoytisms.
I couldn't glean much out of this. All I can say is you better use it, and often.
Oh, don't worry.
And I look down on the side of the bow and see two names that aren't marked off. And I kind of just, like, with the head down, with my eyes rolled forward, kind of at the top. It's like, I see we have some similarities in mind. And I grab the front of the bow and hand him the handle of it.
No, I'm just kidding.
There's one. So I'm gonna grab the crossbow and just kind of look over at him. Thank you. And I'm almost acknowledging, without even acknowledging the list. I'm gonna put the crossbow on my back, but one thing I did want to note is as soon as my hand touches that crossbow, the blue check marks over Chloe, Gen, and Baba Yaga's names light up blue. And I just grab it and I put it on my back, and as soon as I let go of it on my back, they turn off. I don't know if Hoyt saw that or not.
Need me to make a
it
perception
interesting.
check to see if I did?
Makes it interesting. You see it. You certainly know because of your identify that it has some kind of odd conjuration, transmutation, and evocation magics just like swirling powerfully around it. As Esmeralda steps into the room and just goes, I don't know what the fuck this is all about, but are you all ready?
Haven't seen you in a while.
Oh, I've been around. I just didn't want to hang out with. As Victor kind of comes up behind her. Oh, yes. Most people don't. I understand.
Hoyt, before we leave, did you need to do any of your infusions?
Yeah, no. What I'll do is just basic enhance defense the way they look. It's a little bit different. I will take my blacksmith tools and I'll scrape them across the Sept Imperium symbol, and you'll see the ravens on my armor glow. And I will touch it to Ganon's armor, and you will see like all that energy go towards my arm, down my armor, and out through my blacksmith tools, and almost flash like a raven on his armor for the defense. I will put my helmet on, and I will take my blacksmith tools to my head, and I will rake the tools across, and you will see the dark edges on my helmet light up. And I will place my hand on Rolak's cheek and tap the blacksmith tools to his temple, and you will see this like slight energy go from the tools to the to his temple and like in, and his eyes widen for mind sharpen, and you will see me reach down and tap my ankles with the blacksmith tools, and my boots that would be normally there will change into the boots of the winding path.
Which look like Crocs, right?
Yeah.
No, they don't look. Yeah,
No,
they
that
got
I think
the,
that seems that's canon. That I approve.
they got over the. They've got the strap up on the back because that means you're going to be moving really fast, and that's like for speed. You got to have them. You can't be folded to the front. That's for walking. They've got to be clipped in.
Oh, that's amazing.
That's why it's called the speed strap.
So
Yeah, the speed straps.
Oh my god.
Also, I was going to ask, is Jeff still around?
Jeff and I have had a falling out.
Hey!
Ephraim would be proud.
Come on, inspiration! If I've ever fucking heard one.
Damn
No, I just hear 1,000 puns a week. It has blunted me. Ugh.
Dude, I'm going
That
to
was a
pull
good
out
one, though.
basically my old chainmail and say, would any of your creations be able to wear this?
Medium armor?
Ooh,
Probably.
Heavy.
It's
Actually, I don't think they can because they don't have enough strength.
Yeah, I don't. I was
Yeah,
gonna
they
say, I
have to
don't.
have. You can wear anything. You just don't have proficiency, which causes all
Uh-huh.
kinds of fuckery. But they have
Jeff don't
13
lift.
strength.
Oh no, the chainmail
Jeff,
doesn't
heavy
require
is
strength,
15.
I think. Hold on, let me double check
Yeah,
because
13.
now I want to know.
Chainmail requires 13 strength. I'm 1,000% sure of it.
Okay.
Because I made a character and tried to wear it and only had 12 strength. That's
I
why
mean, I only got
that's why I know
11.
that.
Artificers are different, though. Artificers
Yeah.
have a.
Yeah, you don't bypass that.
I get
so.
to ignore that.
Yeah, you ignore
I'd
the
say
weight.
if he can wear it, that's great. If any of other you guys or gals could wear it, that's great. If not, I think we should drop it off with Erwin.
Yeah, we'll just give it to one of the guards to take to Irwin's.
Okay.
I was thinking about
that.
taking a dip into fighter, but yeah, not right now though.
You wouldn't get the heavy armor proficiency with the dip, but yeah. All right, let's hit the road, Jack.
All right.
Did he do the weapon on Ganon?
No, he did armor on Ganon.
He did armor on Ganon.
Yeah,
Okay.
Ganon
because the
doesn't need it.
weapon
Ganon
won't
has
do
a +2
anything.
weapon.
And if I did armor
Oh,
on
that's right.
myself, that would put me at 22.
Well, fuck it, man. I'm gonna get some. I'm just kidding.
Get some! Get some!
And Ganon already have that marked off for you guys already. As you guys filter into the wagon, You guys get yourselves ready, start packing up your things, and pile into it. She says the command word, and once again you see a little creature kind of watching you guys from up above as you all pile into the wagon. Esmeralda
far?
just says, about 80 feet.
Mm.
And I'm gonna like look over at Esmeralda and I'd be like, should I give it a parting gift?
She kind of gives you a look, an eyebrow raise, and a smirk. Why the fuck not?
I'm gonna fire 2 Eldritch Blasts at it.
As you gather that, go ahead and make me just a dexterity check for initiative on that one. Who gets to go first as it sees you reeling up?
Dex check. I don't have any dexterity, so this probably won't be great.
You still beat it. All right, as you gather up the energy.
Do you want me to fire 2 blasts? Pew, pew, pew.
Pew, 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 pew. All right, as you shoot both of them off. And what does it look like when your Eldritch Blast fires, by the way?
So when my Eldritch Blast fires, it's pretty much like most of my magic. The light just kind of just starts to dissipate and it becomes like pure and complete darkness out of the palm of my hand. And literally, as I kind of just twist my hand ever so slightly, they both fire in like almost like immediate succession of one another and just fire straight out.
As the creature tries to lift itself up, gets hit twice. You do 17 points of force damage. You see all of this blood just dripping down as it then flies off. You were not able to kill it, but it seems like it did take quite a bit of damage from that. And you hear just like what you think is probably infernal cursing as you guys ride off towards the gate.
Just wanted to give him a parting gift, that's all.
You're gonna look over and Finn's just gonna be smiling like, I love it. And I'm gonna climb into the cart.
As Esmeralda just goes, the fuck is wrong with him? He seems weird.
Yeah, he got a new toy, and so he's a little obsessed.
I don't know. I think it's more. All of you have to be careful. The dread domains change you. We cannot say this enough.
Oh, don't worry. I think we're starting to realize this place definitely brings out the quote-unquote best in you. And I'm going to say it in the most sarcastic possible way.
You're already there.
Is it a cast sarcasm?
Is it safe to say
He's
I was able to
proficient
get
with
my
it.
chainmail off?
You what? You drop it off? Okay.
Yeah, drop it off of one of the guards that was on our side because your boy's heavy.
That is true. Hold up before you delete him.
Fucking full plate.
I'm at 189 of 165. Someone had to lift my fat ass into that cart.
There we go.
Although I'm pretty sure when you put your armor on, I
Yeah.
don't think it actually has a weight anymore as an artificer. I don't.
Yeah, I don't think it does. But
I don't know how that works, but it doesn't matter once you drop the chainmail anyway.
yeah,
All right.
on the road again.
Yep.
Can't wait to get on the road again.
As you guys are getting closer and closer towards the gate, there are a couple guards with their torches out. As you guys are getting out of the way. Exactly, that's what it sounds like.
Sorry, didn't mean to.
Alrighty. As we're gonna check out the map once more.
Find out where we are.
Gypsies, we go down the highway.
There's Barovia.
Okay, there we are. Yeah.
Alrighty.
Right here, right?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Odd symbol.
Yeah, it's about the same distance as a Wizard of One.
Yeah, you
Yeah.
think you'll probably be able to make it right about midday, maybe a little bit earlier than that, as you guys are starting to book it down the pathway.
Okie dokie.
All of you guys notice that Finn seems to be a little distant-eyed. He seems to be kind of looking across from him at the other side of the wagon. And there's just like a little bit of a smile and a nod every once in a while, as he seems to be almost like enthralled in a conversation, but none of you guys are able to hear.
Oh. During this conversation, I do want to ask him. Am I speaking as essentially telepathically in a sense, or in my head? Is that the best way to describe it?
How do you speak to it?
Okay. Okay. Well, so I'm just gonna finally say, I'm gonna sigh and be like, "You're kind of a hard one to understand, man. You speak in a lot of riddles, metaphors, and vague statements. What do you mean? What do you mean, be yourself?"
What do you
And
want to be?
I mean, I'd love to be 6 foot tall. Can you make that happen?
You don't have to be 6 foot tall to bell a giant. You just
That's
have
true.
to put the pressure, but it's going to hurt.
So I'm gonna pull the crossbow out. I'm gonna be looking at the names on the side of it. And be like, so was this your handiwork or neat touch?
Figured you'd like it.
And I'm gonna kind of just, I don't know, testing the durability, if you will. I'm gonna kind of dink the like, tap it on like the yeah neck. I'm gonna tap it, and when I tap it, he's gonna appear. Almost, I don't know how tall the wagon we're in is exactly, but he's basically gonna appear right in front of me. And I'm gonna look up at him and go, "Oh, well, that's neat." I'm gonna kind of look at him. Is that all I gotta do? Am I stuck with you now, or what happens here?
I want blood. I am
Yeah,
not
you
some
mentioned that.
plaything.
You mentioned that. And I'm gonna try to look at him, and I'm gonna try to talk to him telepathically, like, "Bro, you're embarrassing me in front of my friends." Kind of look like I'm gonna kind of, and I'm gonna kind of point over to Gin and Chloe's name and be like, "There are some things I would like to. I'm not sure now is a good time."
Be proud of your kills.
Do they hear this?
They don't hear the spirit. They just hear you mumbling to yourself every once in a while.
Okay.
There's a dink, and it's like, you kind of embarrassing me in front of my friends, dude. How do the rest of you guys feel about this?
I got this.
Take it away, Gannon.
I was gonna say I'm up front, so
Finn.
I'm gonna glance over at Gannon. Yes, sir.
Yeah. I know. I know. I was pretty worse for wear at one. So I just gotta ask, how are you feeling?
Finn's gonna kind of look back down at the crossbow and look over at Gannon and be like, "Oh, it's been an interesting couple of hours. And I'm gonna kind of look back. I'm gonna put my eyes back down at the crossbow. I'm gonna look back up at Gannon and go, "Want to meet your old friend?" And without even accepting if Gannon wants to do that, I'm gonna hit the crossbow again. Does the spirit appear in front of Tom or in front of Gannon?
No, but your stomach kind of turns for a second. And as
he
you
does
there's
that, I'm gonna
just
be like,
hunger. Good.
I would be careful doing that, by the way. Is it, if that's what I think it is? Are you feeling out? You know you went to sleep white, right?
Yeah, man. I thought maybe I had to spend too much time in the sun, but not a sun here. So I don't know. And I woke up and was like, "Yeah, fuck it, this is the new me."
Yeah. Because when I woke
I
up,
like it, don't you?
Yeah, I mean, you look like a used hygiene device. I'll be honest.
Out the fucking park, there he goes. And I'm gonna go, "Uh-huh. Well, I mean, I've been called worse, I guess. He's that was hard to get used to? The way he talks to you makes you feel inadequate. And it's kind of," and then my voice is gonna change, "frustrating." I must pretty much spent my whole fucking life with people talking to me that way, and it's getting kind of fucking old.
Yeah, I don't think it's gonna end. He was pretty dominant about what he needs, and looks like you took that and ran with it.
Finn's gonna start laughing. You know what? Maybe he's right. Maybe he's right. Maybe playing the nice guy and being friends there, but it was what got me here in the first place, and I'm fucking tired of it. Maybe I should just tell you the truth. I mean, you don't really know too much. Yeah, you hadn't been around that long, but. And I'm gonna start rubbing my hand across the first two names on the crossbow. You ever love something so much? And when having to make the choice of to live with or without him? Well, hell, I just couldn't imagine living with somebody else without me involved. I'm gonna squeeze the crossbow and go. She wanted to leave. I couldn't let that happen. I'm gonna look back down at the crossbow, look back up at you, and so did he. And I'm gonna run Gin's name. You have any family, Gannon?
Yeah, I thought I did, but turns out they weren't as furry as I remember.
Yeah. A lot can change, and people are never what they seem, right? What would you do if your family abandoned you? What would you do if the only woman you thought you'd ever loved in your life, a woman you gave up everything for, you ostracized yourself from your own family, you gave up your home and walked off into the fucking wilderness with her, and then she just tried to go back like nothing had fucking happened? What would you do?
I'll be honest with you, little one. I'm not great when it comes to relationships. I mean...
And neither was she. She left me. Well, let me rephrase it. Tried to. I'm just gonna look back up at you and go, I don't do well with abandonment. I hope I never lose y'all. You're gonna see my eye kind of twitch a little bit and go, I don't think I can handle it anymore. And then I'm gonna touch Varen's name on the crossbow. I definitely couldn't handle it. But I am no longer going to be nice for the sake of being nice. I spent the last 6 months of my life with that motherfucker torturing me, and I can't take it anymore. So you know what? And at that point, I'm just going to scream and go, I'm here, bitch! Come fucking get it! And I'm going to put the crossbow back. I'm going to look again and go, but I'm sure you won't go nowhere. I'm just going to lean back in my chair like,
you know what? I think that you and that crossbow are going to be just fine. And then I'm going to slowly turn around because I feel like we're in the back, and I'm just going to look at everyone and be like...
I'm going to lean over to Dagmar. Does he know we were in here the whole time?
I don't know.
and it, I guess I could say out of character. This is, for those who haven't picked up, this is the moment that you find out. No, not what you think. I'm not going to narrate it. I'm not narrating that. You're assuming what I'm going to say. This is the moment that you find out that Finn, the nice guy that you have met this whole time.
No more, Mr. Nice Guy.
How do I say this? Is
a homicidal murderer.
Okay, I wasn't gonna go that far. Fucking goddamn.
Mentally unhinged.
His girlfriend
there you go,
wanted to break up with
Jeremy.
her, so he killed her and cut off her foot and carried it around. That's pretty much.
That's like IRL horror. That is called domestic violence.
That's
But
called
we weren't married.
homicidal murderer. Like domestic violence is like, okay, yeah, you're a terrible human. This is like, let's just put him down like the wild dog he is.
You're like the ATF at the Branch Davidian event. You just lighting it on fire, just
Yeah.
burn everybody
He's
down.
like, not only am I going to
Finney
kill her, it's going to like cut off
The
pieces of her
kobold
and
version of
keep it.
Buffalo Bill over there,
So,
keeping trinkets.
This is a good party, right?
Yeah.
I
I was gonna say it much. I was
Nobody
gonna say
answers.
something that was much nicer than all the descriptions they got, but I mean, I guess they summed it up.
So in the Mass Effect, if we have our Renegade and our Paragon, we were like here, and I feel like it's like, and it started shaking as it's starting to go into the red.
He's talking about the roller coaster, right?
Yeah.
So
Listen, when he said
Hands
that,
up, bitches! Enjoy the ride. Let's fucking go. Let's go.
I would like to think that when Hoyt heard that, when he said that he fucking shot him, like he did the whole Kramer, like, oh, like the whole like head back stunned kind of deal. Like, well, shit, what are we getting into in here?
Now, this
I'm
is
gonna
actually a
lean
good
over to-
question that Heatrix posed in chat too. Dagmar and Hoyt, as the people who are probably the more religiously inclined, what is going on inside of your heads, and what do you say outwardly with that? Like, again, as characters, not as Jason, who might enjoy some of the language out of that, but what does Hoyt and what do Hoyt and Dagmar think and do in response to this?
It's weighing on Hoyt, but madness sometimes can't be reasoned with. So Hoyt just takes kind of like mental stockpile of the transgressions that were just exposed, and just, I guess he outwardly says, but not loud, but like as soon as he would have said like he shot both of them, he would have probably just mumbled under his breath, "May Lathander have mercy on your soul," and just left it. And if they heard it, great. If they didn't, whatever. But he seems unstable. He's not rocking the boat with the religious thumping.
Dagmar, what about you?
I mean, originally Dagmar was just gonna go over and be like, hey, I can't judge about, talking to people in your head. If you want some tips on how to not look like you're insane, I'll let you know. But she didn't get to that. So, instead I think Dagmar's just, gotta go pale. And,
Paler.
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 Yeah, it's amazing how many shades of death she can look.
It's like
She
a
is
Home Depot up in
translucent.
here.
Yeah.
She is translucent.
She went to Party Central and bought all the white face paint for Halloween.
Oh my god.
Went invisible. Didn't even know she had the spell. Just
She
nope.
turned into Casper. Just gone.
Ghosting everyone here.
Mhm.
She might actually be a little sick. With her own memories flashing back, as she's definitely, if there's the side window or the ending to open, she's just gonna be like, excuse me. And she's just gonna look at Finn, and she's just shaking as she sits back closer to Hoyt and just is shaking the whole rest of the way, like clutching her rosary like it's the last thing that she has.
Roll me a d6, Dagmar. Next to you, sitting there, you get the sense that there's the spirit of the hunter as he turns towards you and just goes, "You know, when you have animal that you raised yourself, it sometimes can become rabbit. And when it does, there is only one thing you can do. Do you like your little elevator symbol in front of you?
Yeah.
Ben,
Yep.
as you finish your
Diatribe?
Oscar
Confession.
performance,
Confession.
you do hear Voth's voice in the back of your mind go, I mean, man, you might want to just simmer down just a little. And you kind of feel yourself kind of look over towards Dagmar, making the little symbol, and Hoy just kind of shaking his head and kind of mumbling something under his breath. And it's just Voth's voice going like, just be, just be like cool, man.
Don't be uncool. Be cool. Don't be uncool.
If anybody has seen Eurovision, you would know why I'm dying right now. Yeah, just be cool, man. Just be a cool guy.
I'm gonna relay this all to Rolak using message.
Breaker, whatnot.
Oh yes, what the fuck is happening?
Ben is losing his shit right now.
Divine losing his shit.
He never had it, apparently. He killed Chloe and some other person because they threatened to leave him, or they did leave him. And he was like, mend the relationship? Nope, kill him.
You can reply to this message.
Yeah, he did. He asked me a question.
I'm gonna like lean over to Esmeralda, and I'm gonna go. Yeah, we might have to kill the little one.
Sounds good.
I'm just gonna
And without even missing a beat, she's just like, all right, make note of it. Just let me know.
Going to kind of take Clancy in, or not Clancy, but Dagmar in, and kind of comfort her because he can tell that she's upset.
You kind of hold the hair back as she's just.
A little mint smell happens in there.
That is the cutest thing between those two characters. Just like the little mint smell, the little almonds.
Actually, I do have something I want to ask Esmeralda.
And she goes, just give me at least a what's the word? When do we do it?
No. So, question: you've been here
All three.
significantly longer than me.
I was born here.
At what level
9.
would
I'm just fucking with you.
would you stop? Where would be your hard limit when it comes to defeating him?
Strahd?
Yes. Is there something that would be beyond what you are willing to do if it meant winning this war?
I would have not driven a dagger through someone's throat in order to get magical powers out of an item, which probably cursed my soul, but, that's just me. So that's maybe a limit.
So you would have a limit.
What is interesting, and I can imagine that Dagmar feels similar to this. When you live in darkness, are born into it, it shapes you in a way that it's hard to describe. When you adventurers come into this place, you're soft. You have ideas of what is right and wrong, just and unjust, light and dark. In this place, it's 50 fucking shades of gray.
Yeah, I think you misunderstand me.
Then
And
speak
please know-
plainly. My limit, I know it when I see it, but I wouldn't sacrifice any of you to get what I need.
And then I'm going to say, I mean this with all due respect. That may be why you have yet to win. Sometimes, to crush what is uncrushable, you have to break things that are dear to you. And so, While Finn, I honestly always thought was a few eggs shy of a basket, now apparently likes to crack his own eggs.
The analogy got even weirder. I didn't think it could,
Oh.
but it was like, whoa!
It's going on a weird ass trajectory.
What?
We're gonna need therapy sessions after this. So if you guys follow, like, subscribe, cheer, whatever else, it's gonna go to therapy sessions for all of us. Please continue, rolling.
All I'm getting at is that while he clearly is not well, unleashing him on Strahd may be beneficial, even if the end goal is the moment Strahd falls, we put him down afterwards.
Oh, absolutely. I didn't say my limit was to not use a rabid dog against Strahd. It was to actually wield the blade to kill him. Unless, of course, there is a clear need for it. I think you misunderstand. I'm not some zealot like your friend Hoyd or Dagmar. I believe that darkness should be wielded like a weapon, yes. But again, I'm not going to make a deal with the dark powers and lose my soul.
So, I'm not gonna say, as someone who has done that exact thing, I'm not gonna say shit. I'm just gonna go, huh.
Me either.
I'm just gonna kind of like look forward, like, well, that's kind of the crux of my existence. But all right, let's keep on clattering along. Maybe before the session ends, we'll actually get to the one place we plan on
Never!
getting to.
Hey, speaking of, since you're back, Jason, go ahead and roll me a d10.
A D10. Well, look at there. Let me find my character sheet.
Did
Nick?
any of those supplies end up forming in the real world?
Yes, they did.
Whoa, shit! All right, cool.
Thank you for reminding me.
Whoa, shit!
Ah! Oh my god. See, I need to get a stream deck so I can just loop that. Oh man.
Have the Quagmire doing the giggity.
Wow.
Alrighty, a 5.
Fifth.
1, 2, 3, 4.
As you guys are getting along the path and are starting to make good way down the road itself, the Svalich Wood again just starting to get drenched with the torrential rain coming down. After some hours, you guys finally get by that tower once more where you guys originally met Esmeralda off in the distance. As you see the lake kind of scintillating off in the distance, there's a raven that kind of comes down and lands next to Esmeralda, and suddenly you see the shape of an individual you haven't met yet. Actually, a youngster, maybe 12 years old, a young boy who has black hair, dark eyes, and very much resembles his father, Erwin. I don't have much time. My father just sent you to say that we're trying to keep tabs of what's happening in the town, but please hurry back soon. We think that Lady Wachter will try something today. Anyway, stay safe out there, okay? As Esmeralda just goes, hey, that's faster than a spell, I guess. As the little bird flies away once more. So Rolak and Esmeralda heard that.
Over that.
Alright, as you guys tinker on down the road, you guys make your way unmolested all the way to Kresk. And as you guys get there, you guys see a junction up ahead that leads northward. The road branches north and climbs at a rocky escarpment, ending at a gatehouse built into a 20-foot high wall of stone reinforced with buttresses every 50 feet or so. The wall encloses a settlement on the side of a snow-dusted mountain spur. Beyond the wall, you see the tops of snow-covered pines and thin white wisps of smoke. The somber toll of a bell, dung, 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 comes from a stone abbey that sits at the top of the snow-covered mountainside high above it. The steady chime seems inviting, a welcome change from this deathly silence that you guys have been just suffering and the oppressive fog that just seems to be completely accustomed to now. It's hard to tell at this distance, but there seems to be a switchback road clinging to the cliff that leads up from the walled settlement to the abbey up above. As you guys look westward, you see that the road continues on for a while, but then seems to just end as a wall of mist just swallows the road up ahead.
Well, I don't think driving into that mist is going to do us any favors, so let's head to the gatehouse.
You see the gatehouse kind of like at the bottom left there on your guys' screen as you guys are starting to climb. And if you guys know anything about the geography maps, those little circles kind of depict as it goes higher and higher. The abbey itself is at about almost like a 800-foot rising up above you guys. The air,
Topography lines.
the air grows colder and colder as you approach the walled settlement. You see two square towers with peaked roofs that flank a stone archway into which is set a pair of 12-foot tall iron-bound wooden doors. Carved into the arch above the doors is the name Bresk. The walls that extend from the gatehouse here are about 20 feet high, and atop the parapet, you see four figures with wearing fur hats and clutching spears. They seem to watch you nervously as you're getting closer and closer into this. You also see cut into the upper floor of each tower is an arrow slit that is 6 inches wide, 4 feet tall, and about a foot deep. You see open doorways that lead from the archer's post into other towers, and you get the sense that there's probably more archers up top watching you guys as you guys are getting closer and closer. But go ahead and make me an insight intelligence check. Whoever would like to.
Not me.
Yeah. 13.
You kind of look at it, and for how long this wall is, you barely see any figures crossing over it. It seems like there's the people here at this gatehouse, but other than that, it's very few and far between. You get the sense that there are not enough people to properly position this post.
They are severely
Are
undermanned.
the doors open or closed?
Closed.
Pull us up maybe 10 feet away.
Understood. They're probably going to tell you that you need to fuck off, but you've got that silver tongue, right?
Got a
Whoa!
Damn
As the
nose.
magical horses kind of stop, and you hear one of the men kind of calling down, "Hey! Who goes there?"
Easy, friend. We are the acting burgomeisters of Valaki.
They give each other all a look. What?
2 nights past, Strahd attacked Valaki and killed the burgomeister. Actually, I apologize. He killed several of the guards, and in the burgomeister's sorrow, he hung himself. His son named us Sept Imperium, a group that has been battling Strahd for a few weeks now, the acting burgomeisters. We are going through the region trying to secure up all defenses and make sure that everyone is adequately prepared with supplies and what they need in defense of Strahd's monsters.
I'm
We
sorry,
actually have a letter here from...
lost you
young-
there. You said Sept Imperium?
Yes, sir.
Are you with Saint Zakiel?
He is a member of our group, yes.
Wait here.
Saint Zakiel. Did you
That's
say
the-
Saint?
The
That's
guy
what he said, yeah.
disappears and runs down the wall.
Did he die?
Fucking no.
You're gonna hear Finn whisper. Don't anyone ever wanted to kill us.
I'm gonna like lean back and I'm gonna look at Ganon and I'm gonna go, if Finn tries anything, tackle him and hold him fucking down.
Tackle him? I'll just sit on.
No, nobody in rules of engagement. Do not fucking attack unless we are attacked. I'm not here to fucking murder this whole city.
Looks uneasily at Finn.
Well, they think that Finn just went from issues to murderous rampage.
I like how Ganon's supposed to be the one to stop him.
You got the highest strength, so from a grapple perspective, you should be. I'm gonna get down and I'm gonna walk forward and I'm gonna have the letter out that Vlakovich wrote for us and go. If you don't mind opening the gate, I'm happy to give you the letter.
A woman kind of calls down with her for her top 10. Just wait until we hear back. Just wait there for a minute, okay?
Sure.
10 minutes pass as finally the same man kind of appears at the top again. However, next to him, you see two individuals, darker skin, kind of graying hair, as they have weaponry upon them as well and look like pretty able-bodied individuals. You see both of them kind of carry themselves with a little bit of like a well-deserved air of nobility. See, the man goes shorter than his wife. Hello, my name is Dmitry Kreskov. I'm the burgomaster of this village. You say that you are acting burgomaster of Vallaki, yes?
Sept Imperium was named the acting burgomaster. One of our members, Hoyt, was running the town. And yes, we came after we made sure that Vallaki was safe and secured. We are here to make sure the same, as well as I believe 2 of our compatriots are actually here. So we were just making sure we wanted to come in, make sure everything was good, make sure the abbey was secure.
The two individuals kind of look at each other for a second. What assurances do we have that you're not here to do the same thing to our town? Saint Zachiel let us know that you might be coming here. He said that you would be after the relic he received.
Well, you're welcome to read this letter from the Vlakovich himself, if that helps.
He kind of motions to one of the guards, who then rushes over. Picks up this little bucket, ties a rope to it, kind of lets it down over the side. You drop the letter in. You drop the letter.
Puts the letter in the basket.
Put the letter in the basket.
Look at it. Looks at it. The seal checks out. But especially now, with Saint Zachiel and the abbot on our side, we are okay. We are fine. I promise you. Kind of puts the letter back into the bucket. It's kind of lowered
With all
back
due
towards you
respect,
guys.
you're not. In the last 3 days, we have killed Baba Yaga. We have expunged all of the blights from this land. And we have cleansed Argynvashhold just in the last 3 days. So refusing our help would be foolish. And the reason I say this is because Strahd's Horde are coming. Your choice is we can stand with you against the flood that is coming, or it's clear you do not have enough men to man these walls. You're welcome to hope that Saint Zachiel alone can do it. What he may or may not have is no never mind to us. Let's be honest. If we wanted it, we would just be attacking you. But we are not bloodthirsty heathens. We are offering assistance, and you would be unwise to not accept it.
Make me an
You
intimidation
hear
check.
shh from inside the cart at Finn. Shh.
No. Chris was reacting to me biting my finger because he knew that I was like,
I
well,
was
1/6
reacting
of the
to
group.
Jeremy was like,
Oh.
to me, not bloodthirsty because I
Yeah, same thing. I was just like, Go ahead and roll me
I didn't know. Did you say intimidation or persuasion?
Intimidation.
Yeah.
That one teetered on the edge and then dipped.
Wow.
As he kind of goes, I respectfully disagree. I am grateful if you are indeed the Burgermeisters of Alaki now, of thinning the herd of darkness that exists in our lands eternally. But you are new to these lands, as was Saint Zachiel. The abbot is not. The abbot pronounced the holiness of Saint Zachiel. Saint Zachiel was able to procure an item of holy power. 2 of them. He is the warrior who will slay Strahd and release us from our eternal dorm. As he kind of gets more and more worked up, you see the woman kind of put a hand on his shoulder. What my husband is trying to say is that your empty threats will not be heard. We have the abbot on our side. We have the Morning Lord. And now we also have Saint Zachiel.
Can does Hoyt hear this while he's inside the cart?
Oh yeah, this is like shouting up and down this
Hoyt's
gatehouse.
going to exit the cart. Full regalia.
Suddenly the suspension just... No, I'm just kidding.
I'm Hoyt Thundercleave. I was the one that was taking over for the Burgermeister after his apparent demise. Saint Zachiel. Why would Lathander
Don't go there.
bless him? A bless machine with an item that he stole from us.
Why the fuck do you always do that?
Because I can. Shh.
Kind of look at each other. You accuse of theft. The man who speaks with an angelic voice, who has a halo above his head, who wields a sword of sunlight. You accuse someone who is able to channel forth the power of a holy reliquary. How could he not be blessed by Lathander?
Because he forsaken his friends in their dire need. When they needed him the most, he left them.
From what he told us, he forsook the darkness that was festering within you.
In me?
All of
I was
you.
one of his dearest friends. So if you don't let any of them in, at least let me in there, who shares the light of Lathander, to at least speak with him.
Make me a persuasion check, Hoyt.
Oh, boy.
Call it out.
Chat didn't say, see what you have. So you have to call it out.
That was a natty 20, -1 for a 19.
A better roll than the face, goddamn. And this is why sometimes it doesn't matter what your roll is in the group, sometimes you can just roll well. You kind of look back and forth, and the Burgermeister is about to say something as you hear an angelic voice with an echo to it kind of cut him off. And you see a radiance kind of fill the upper reaches of the gatehouse. As there's a just like golden light that fills it. And coming up and around with burning golden eyes, you do not see Zachiel, but instead a different man. Dark of skin, white of hair, beautiful blue robes with golden trim and burning golden eyes. Please, let us be at rest. For indeed, it has been a blessed event that these men and women brought Zachiel to our shores. You see all of the guards kind of drop on a knee and bow. Both the Burgermeister and his wife kind of bow to him as well, as the man steps to the edge of the gatehouse. I am who these people now call the abbot. I was once sent by the Thunder to clear the darkness from this land. And there seems to be that same kind of like booming, kind of supernatural bravado to his voice that you got used to with Zakiel. What, my dear travelers, is your intent in coming here? The true intent of your visit?
I just wish to seek an audience with a former friend and let him know what I told him I would do, I have done, which is seek the light.
I think he would like this. He has spoken of your group highly and with criticism in his voice. His zeal carries him. But in this land, sometimes zeal is all that we have left. And by the way, thank you for the raid, y'all. I am glad that you have come to see what Zakiel has become. To see the power that he now radiates, the holy righteousness that will carry us forwards to truly wonderful victory over the darkness that feasts upon this land. So, my friend Hoyt, come on in and present yourself to Saint Zakiel. Are there any of you of the true faith that seek an audience as well?
I'll get out of the cart. I'd love to see your temple as a follower and worshipper of our Morning Lord. And catch up with Ezekiel.
Make me a precision check with advantage, Dagmar. Phineas, as you get out as well and kind of follow, do you get out? No?
That was the
Okay.
one thing we told them to not let me out of the car.
I was going to talk to Zakiel.
If you're doing that, I have a reaction.
Yeah, I haven't done anything hostile to anybody.
Dagmar,
His
was
name
that
right
on the
crossbar.
persuasion check?
name's on the crossbow, bitch.
Yeah. I'm just gonna.
That's a
then
good
echo
point.
right
Hopefully they
after her.
can't read. Okay.
Right after her, I'm gonna just say, as a paladin of the Morning Lord, I would also appreciate it.
Make me a deception check.
I'm not lying. I'm a paladin. Why is it deception?
Some morning.
Things have changed. What'd you get?
22.
Oh,
Alrighty.
in your backpack.
Alrighty, Rolak, you get off of this. Knack, Ganon, Finn. What do you guys actually do?
Trying to stop him from going.
Okay, you just put a big, beefy hand upon Phineas's shoulder. Knack, what do you do?
I look at the two people that are left, and I'm like, I'll stay with the cart. I messaged that over to Rolak. I'm like, I'll stay with the cart with these two to make sure they don't set anything on fire.
Finn is just going to be sitting there with now Ganon's formerly cow hoof on my fucking shoulder, and I'm just gonna kind of look at it. I'm gonna be holding I'm kind of holding the crossbow in my hand, just kind of fiddling with it a little bit, and you'll notice Zakiel's name is lighting up and then dimming, and then lighting up and then dimming. I'm just like, just want to talk to him. I just want to talk to him. I just want to talk to him. I just want to talk to him. And I just no, okay, I guess I can't talk to him.
As the abbot's radiant voice carries down, allow these three, pointing towards Dagmar, Rolak, and Hoyt, to seek an audience with the saint. They are guests of mine, and shall not come to harm unless they be doing harm. Let the light of Lathander guide you, children. As the guards kind of look anxiously towards each other, but nod, and the gates open, and you guys start stepping through. Rolak, Dagmar, and Hoyt. The rest of you guys, and Esmeralda kind of looks over her shoulder back into the cart, going, I really fucking hope we don't have to fight, into that place to get them back out.
They'll be alright.
Yeah, I really hope not as well.
I want so badly to stand outside the gates of that fucking wall and just scream straight
Straight
out.
out of Troy.
Yes! Drake knows where I'm going. Zakia!
You hold this massive piece of parchment up that is just like... Alrighty. You guys walk into the village proper, and you see that there's a low mist that seems to be hanging and shrouding the village as well beyond the wall. What's interesting is the village itself seems to be nothing more than a scattering of humble wooden cottages along dirt roads that stretch between stands of snow-dusted pine trees. So many trees, in fact, as to constitute almost like a small forest within this place itself. It is fascinating. It's almost like this... It's like a ski resort of sorts, the place where rich people might go and set up shop. The village here seems to be operating like this, well, kind of more of a commune than like what you've seen before in the village of Barovia or the town of Valaki. You guys are walking through, and you see the cottages themselves seem to be actually relatively small, modest dwellings. You're now being ringed by 4 guards that have started walking with you, as well as the burgomaster of the place and his wife, and the abbot, as he kind of crosses his arms behind himself and walks extremely regally. The thing that you notice is he towers at almost 6'5", just kind of has an even gait to you guys. You feel a warmth that emanates off of his body as you step closer, and there's a calm, reassuring nature to that aura-like effect that you guys are feeling. So, he continues, or kind of breaks that awkward silence between all of you. What has brought each of you to the warm embrace of the morning lord?
Purpose.
And it nods sagely at that.
My father.
His golden eyes kind of focus on you, Dagmar.
Security and safety.
Some of those might be more righteous than others, but all are things that bring us together. Purpose, safety, family. And his eyes are kind of now piercing into you, Rolak. You and I both know that you are no longer a paladin of the Morning Lord. And there's just a warm smile. You see the burgomaster and the wife kind of look awkwardly at each other. But child, the path to redemption is always open. The darkness that you might have felt starting to creep into your heart is not there to stay, but to be expelled by the light. These too, and he points towards Dagmar and Hoyt now, carry the light within them, whether it be out of fear or fervor. Do you not miss that feeling, Rolak? Do you not miss feeling warm?
I had that feeling for most of my life. And then I watched that faith be rewarded with everyone I know and everyone I love dying.
A hard challenge. But did you not trust in the thoughts and prayers that you could give forth? Did you not trust into the goodness that this was perhaps a challenge that you were presented with, not by the Morning Lord, but those dark entities that exist in between those spaces? Did you not trust that to overcome evil, the evil that destroyed your family, you had to trust into the light further?
I tried, and it never gave me the strength I needed to do what needed to be done. And so I did what needed to be done.
Maybe you never stepped out of the penumbra between darkness and light. Maybe you always hid in the shadow of your father.
Maybe. But whatever shadow he cast was buried with him.
Whom do you attribute the death of your father to?
A much deeper conversation, but I would say the cause, the one that killed him was not the cause of his death. The cause of his death was being complacent.
That I agree with you. It appears that these poor souls of this land, and he seems to be kind of looking towards the Burgermeister, who hangs his head a little bit, kind of like reverently, have been misled and treated like cattle for so long that they act like mindless flock. Instead, righteous zeal and well-placed anger directed at the beast that holds these poor souls captive will be able to expel the darkness. I too have felt the creep of darkness. I too had to battle with uncertainty and signs by my God, whom decided to alter the way that I could help people. But I finally saw the betterment, the improved ways. And finally, I have seen Zachiel. He was sent from the lands beyond. And he is going to lead us to glory. Be the shadow of the light that he casts. But do not seek anger. Do not seek war. For he shall burn you to dust. You shall be nothing. You stand against him. And you guys have been walking through the village now, and towards kind of like the switchback road that is apparently leading up towards an abbey up above. The switchback road hugs the cliff. It's about 10 feet wide and covered with loose gravel and chunks of broken rock. There's a light layer of snow kind of dusting everything there, and you see that the ascent is actually somewhat treacherous. However, the abbot seems to be walking completely unperturbed by this. And it gets colder and colder as you guys finally finish that ascent and get to the very outer gates of the abbey itself.
I have a question for you before we enter.
Go for it.
As do I.
When the
Of course.
saint arrived here, did he have a woman with him?
There's a small smile. He did. Blessed be.
You say did. Is she no longer with us?
After we received what we needed, she was free to go.
What did you need from her?
Just a final detail.
Okay. And where did you send her?
She was free to go wherever her path pursued her.
How long ago did you let her? Did you give her a horse? Did you give her anything, or did you just kick her outside the city?
Well, I healed her wounds and made sure she was provisioned before she left, of course.
Why? How did she become wounded?
Some surgery was required.
Surgery. Thank you for all the raids, by the way. We just had
Yeah, you guys are
3
awesome
raids
for
in a row.
those raids. Hey everybody, how are y'all doing?
You performed surgery on my friend.
I did. Blessed surgery to enable us to complete the task at hand. To satiate the beast and hopefully lower his defenses so that the golden sword of light may pierce through its dark.
What did you take from her?
Nothing that she won't be able to live without.
So you performed surgery on her against her will to give something of her to Strahd. Am I to understand you correctly?
Zachiel was able to persuade her of the necessity of our actions.
Huh. When did she leave?
Oh,
Well, how long ago?
Thank
not
you.
more than perhaps 2 days ago. A
Do
day.
you know of direction? I'm sure you guys watched her from up here on the Abbey at this high elevation.
I have been terribly busy with my duties at the Abbey, I apologize. These would be good questions for Saint Zachiel.
Well, I have a question for you, real quick, since you so graciously let us into your area here. You told my friend Rolak here that the sun that Lathander shines upon people can redeem people, correct?
Of course it can. The sun burns away all that is wicked.
That same sun that your Saint Zachiel introduced me to is the reason I am here as a warrior for Lathander.
Wonderful. Blessed be.
But we have 3 members of our traveling party outside that might be seeking the same light if they were just shown the light, but they are not with us.
They are not. I think this will be better for the time being. I was told of your friend, Knack. The man who makes bones dance. I would have some questions of him. But his art is too foul to mirror mine. I've always sought healing. And when the healing was altered, at the very least, improvement.
You said mirror.
In a way,
What do you mean by that?
I have seen the wisdom in exploring the extended life and unlife sometimes walks. But of course, it was not complete without the final touch.
Well, let's go speak with the saint.
Dagmar.
Can I roll an insight check on how the I'm gonna call them barons, how they feel about what he's confessing to?
Go for it.
Okay. Cause
That's a great idea.
yeah.
And while she's doing this, I would like to actually look and see, because it looks like, I know the topography is high, but it looks like there's no wall back here, if that's correct. It's just woods.
There's a wall around the abbey itself, but yes, you would have to ascend this relatively sheer-looking raise up to that point. But you
So it's a
could
natural
hypothetically,
defense.
you could hypothetically scale it.
And about how many people did we see as we walked? I know you said it was super sparse, but did we see?
Maybe a dozen. Significantly fewer than in Vallaki. You think this place is actually very underpopulated.
And they look like just civilians, right?
Mhm.
Like peasants. Copy that.
Dagmar, what did you roll?
13 altogether.
You can tell with that 13, looking at the wife, she's kind of like nodding, and there's kind of like that fervent smile. It's kind of like if you've watched Handmaid's Tale, there's just like that, yes, yes, please, praise be. But the husband is a little bit more like he seems to kind of twitch, and there's something that you're not quite able to place. There's something that is just
Motherfucker's Frankenstein.
What type of weapons are they holding?
What you saw in that image, so he has kind of like that, and let me double check so I give you guys the correct things. She actually has kind of like slung over her back this great axe that has all of this silver and sorcererling in it, and she actually has what looks like 3 different wooden spikes, kind of like just jammed into her belt, whereas he has this long silvered longsword at his side as he's walking ahead of her a little ways.
And that magical warmth that was coming off of the man that was his name escapes me already, but that it was leading us up, was that did that seem magical, or
It seemed supernatural at the very least, yes.
something I might have ran across in my travels and escapades below and around the world?
Make me a religion check.
Hey, Jeremy, while he's doing that, if you would like to let chat know in Twitch chat about the giveaway.
Oh shit, yeah, 100%. Hang on a second with that roll. Just FYI, y'all, we are giving away a copy of Van Richten's Guide to Ravenloft at the end of the month for everyone that has followed us, subscribed to us, or cheered in any way. So if you guys would like to enter with that one, give us a follow really quick, or subscribe if you guys have it. If you have Amazon Prime, for example, by the way, that is included. Just FYI, because Amazon over Daddy owns literally everything.
Big Daddy Bezos.
Yeah, Big Daddy Bezos for real. Wait, what did you get?
A 13.
Alrighty. This seems to be supernatural along the same lines of what you have seen on Zachiel, which indicates to you that this individual must have celestial blood within their veins as well.
But he doesn't look like an Asimir, does he? Can I pick up on his
Ethnicity
or his race?
It seems to be all over the place. He definitely has kind of like a more darker olive-skinned tone to it, but those piercing golden eyes, they seem to be more radiant on what you've seen on Zachiel, who is an Aasimar. There seems to be just a weird calmness and a powerful nature to this person's aura.
Let's go speak with the saint. I have a question or two for him.
All right, Dagmar, any other questions that you guys had? Anything on the walk? The walk would have taken you guys at least 10 minutes or so.
I know Rulak already asked this, but just kind of trying to piece things together. Can I make another insight or perception just to see about the whole town with the check I made way back about this man? If what I'm trying to see is if any of these people that look like totally normal villagers are actually not.
Make me a perception check.
Incoming 64.
Not quite. What did you get?
14.
Okay. You didn't notice anything out of the ordinary from what you've seen in Vallaki, where you hail from. And as you kind of go around, what is interesting, you do notice that some of the people kind of look at you, exactly, hello, fellow villagers, as you kind of sling a silvered sword over your shoulder. But as you walk up the path, or had walked through the village itself, you got the sense that nobody in here had seen a dusk elf. And you know that there's not a lot of travel between Kresk and Vallaki, so that is probably not too out of the ordinary. But the weird thing is, as you come up to the very top in that northern gate of the abbey, there are 2 forms, 2 creatures that certainly seem like your average humanoid, but they're hunched over and odd. One has this massive green-scaled arm that it just kind of rests on. It has like the normal humanoid hand clutched around a spear. You see the other one seems to have these oversized, massive frog-like legs that is kind of like hunched down as they're both watching you guys approach. And you realize you have seen an individual like this before.
Mm-hmm.
Isaac, the former right-hand man.
Right hand.
Grab me by my strong arm.
Exactly. Do you guys see what they did there with that adventure?
Mm-hmm.
For the chat's sake. Hey, Lone Bird, how's it going? There was an individual that they met that had this massive, monstrous arm. It almost like it looked like they ripped it off of a demon and attached it to this already formidably large individual. As they are getting closer, are getting closer. These creatures kind of like go back and forth. You see that one has like the snout of a pig. The other one has like donkey ears instead of their normal ears. Blessed be the Lord. And both of these humanoids respond, blessed be, Abbot, blessed be. As you guys are being led through the front gates there, the Baron and his wife kind of like say a couple of hushed words to the Abbot as they're turning away and walking back down the path.
But from a cadence of a walking standpoint, are me, Hoyt, and Dagmar just kind of like walking like shoulder to shoulder, so to speak?
Up to you guys. It's a 10-foot wide path, so at some point you guys probably kind of like lined it for a hot second, but yeah, other than that.
I'm just going to kind of, and I have no idea if she has any ability to do anything, but I'm going to kind of just like glance over at Dagmar, just like taking my hand, just kind of like ever so subtly as we're walking, and just kind of reaching over to like pinch one of her fingers so that to get her attention as she looks. And I'm going to just kind of like make like eye contact towards the sky as if to kind of just give a notion of like, if this goes south, try to make a signal. Just kind of like a, kind of thing as we're walking.
Okay. As you guys are walking in, you hear the sound of what sounds like burning in the air. Kind of like what you guys had heard before with Nag flinging a firebolt or, some kind of a magical fiery effect. As you guys walk into the courtyard, there you see, with golden sword in hand, going through like attack practices again and again. Zachiel, there's a burning golden, almost like it's a halo for sure, but it has golden piercing spikes coming out of it at the edges as he's just going again and again and again. Watching him off to the distance, and with her back turned towards you, you see a female shape. Long auburn hair kind of cascading down her back, in a beautiful white gown, just watching. Ezekiel looks over towards you guys and notices. He kind of seems to just smile a little bit, sweat dripping down his face. He looks at the sword in his hand, which seems to just be this beautiful golden and platinum hilt that has a sunburst in the hilt itself. He seems to think something, and the golden burning edge disappears. The entire blade is gone, and it's just a hilt now, as he hooks it into his belt and starts walking towards you. My friends, welcome to the Abbey. And he looks towards the female figure. As he steps closer towards you guys and kind of touches her upon the shoulder and seems to like gently turn her around. And as she's turned around, you see the face of Irena, except the edges seem to be stitched into the skull, flesh underneath taut. You see kind of dead eyes looking towards you guys. And that is where we're going to leave it for this week's session.
Arena Travolta in this bitch!
I called it.
I
I
was about
called
to
it.
say, is this face off with
Hey!
Oh, the
I
puns are
see what you
coming.
did there.
I could feel the puns.
I called that.
No, that
Oh
was
my
an
God.
action. That was the movie.
Yeah,
Where, like,
they took her face off.
I know, that's the point.
It's a face off.
So
All
they
right,
cut
really
her
quick.
face off, put it on some other poor chick's face, and gave Arena somebody else's face.
That's a hell of a way to disguise self.
Oh, that's dark.
I got
Really
so
quick,
many ideas.
Giveaway announcement one more time if you joined in late, because we are going to unwind here for a second and decompress after some big reveals tonight. If you follow us, if you subscribe, if you give us a cheer through a bit or something like that, you're going to be entered into a giveaway for a guide to Van Richten's Guide to Ravenloft. Again, you enter just by following us, no big deal. If you have Amazon Prime, that is actually included with that one. But back to y'all. Yeah. Hi.
Just for what you said, Lloyd. When I think you couldn't get any dumber, you turn around and do something like this.
Yeah.
It totally
redeem
redeemed
yourself. Well, let's be real. You also got lucky and rolled a natural fucking 20, so you had a 5% chance to not fuck this up. When you got out and I'm like, because here's the only problem. Jason, as the driver of this bus, doesn't go, okay, don't talk about this, or this. Jason's like, word vomit, let's fucking go.
Diarrhea, let's roll with it.
And so you always are like, what are like the 2 hot buttons that I can't say to this character? Bing, 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 bing.
You do it in one sentence.
And it's like the first words out of your mouth are like, he stole the sword. And I'm like, we have no proof of that.
No, I wasn't saying the sword.
They just said they accused us of it, and I was like, no, we ain't here to steal shit. And you're like, give it to it. It's like, what? That's okay. Shit's about to get real because we are going like because you got to think we're separated, but that's a lot of terrain that our team will have to traverse to get to us, which means that would be a hot minute of. I mean, I don't think that from a logistical standpoint, getting through that wall is going to be difficult at all. Getting through the little cannon fodder guards won't be difficult at all. But that could be multiple rounds of us up here fighting by ourselves.
What's a 10-minute walk? So it's probably a 5-minute run.
No. If you're walking, you could run it in probably 3 times, so maybe 3 minutes. But still, yeah, it'd be a long time.
It's 30 rounds.
Yeah. It doesn't matter because I'm gonna challenge Zakiel to a duel.
I think this is one of those situations where we got the lay of the land. We come back in later.
No. I'm gonna kill the chick that's been face-offed. I'm gonna kill Frankenstein, and then I'm gonna kill Zakiel.
What I'm curious about is, old dude said he makes bones jingle.
Yeah.
Well, what the fuck? What are you crossbreeding humans with animals for?
Well,
so he's creating zombies. You're creating abominations.
We knew that though before we got here.
There's no difference before we got here. That's so out of Lathander. That's like way out there.
Well, this dude's clearly off his meds. But I mean, they told us in Argynvoshel that this guy was creating revenants and zombies and all kinds of other shit to try to fight Strahd. The curious part I have, though, is like there's a big difference between him mutating the citizens here, which is probably why there's nobody fucking here, but torturing and like defacing literally this lady. I'm curious how the chick is clearly off her meds with him. I'm curious how the dude feels about that.
Also, off your meds, not the best term for it, but I know what you mean with that. Yeah.
Crazy.
Severe problems.
She's off the cracker.
Yeah.
We got to use that full Drakeism. She's off the cracker.
Yeah.
All right. Well, best way to find out what's going to happen next week and whether they're going to be able to survive these shenanigans is to tune in again. We stream every Sunday at 7 p.m. Mountain Daylight Time. Go ahead and follow us so you can get that a little bit of a announcement beforehand, of course. That would be awesome. Or just tune in if you guys so choose. We love having the chat kind of feel in. Lots of dark shit happened today too, if you want to go back and watch the VOD after we're done with it. But damn, y'all are dark players, and I appreciate that. Well, most of you guys are pretty fucking dark players. Some of you, Chris, you're a very dark player, and that is fun to watch. Oh yeah, for sure. These guys have been amazing too with taking it too. I wanted to do a shout out for Drake and the others too, like something like that. It's so easy to fall into these parlance, tracks, right? Saying something like, off your mats, because it's something that might just like have stuck, and you're like, oh, that's a way to say that. Or, for example, when Curse of Strahd was originally written and stuff like that, a lot of the Vistani, which features Roma people, were called gypsies, even in the books themselves. So a lot of those things just come in normal common parlance. So it's so easy to slip into that or just accidentally say that, right? Or I'm originally from Germany. There's some like being grandfathered in. I didn't even know that had racist connotations because I just heard everyone say exactly kind of same reaction, right?
I didn't know that.
Look
had
it up.
racist
Technically,
connotations.
grandfathered in is like a slur of sorts, which is like, what? So there's so much stuff in our parlance that it takes like 1% of our mental capacity to kind of change that around. So play with Lucky, 100%. And if you guys ever catch us say something, don't be afraid to call it out in chat, because we're more than happy to be the best people we can be. So love to all of you guys. Love to you players. Thank you guys so much for playing a dark ass fucking campaign with me, even though Drake didn't understand quite how dark it was going to be in the beginning. Yeah, this is like horror tropes galore. All right, y'all, we'll see you guys next Sunday, 7 p.m. Mountain Daylight time. Go ahead and go ahead, Hoyt.
No, I just said host.
Oh, Knack. Hoist. Yeah, I'm going to raid someone else, so please be ready for the raid. We're going to do that because it is wonderful. It feels so good, and we have 34 people in chat right now. It's going to be absolutely amazing for someone. Play Lucky, thank you so much for that sub. We appreciate it.
Appreciate it, bud.
All right, let's get ready for that raid. Oh, let's find something good. Should we do Dungeons and Dragons? Let's do Dungeons and Dragons. Oh, there's someone streaming with 0 people. Let's do that. I'm gonna go back. That might be a reason why that was 0 people. I'm not gonna go into details about why.
Say that.
Find somebody that's got like 6, so it's like basically their party.
Nat 13 has 1. Let's see.
Now I'm gonna go looking.
Oh, hey, they're doing it in person. We're definitely rating those people. That's an in-person play we get to watch. I miss it. I miss playing in person so much. Clancy and I actually played for years and years together, and it's miss you. I miss actually slinging fancy goblin math dice in real person. In real person. I English good. All right, here we're off to the raid, and thank you guys so much.
Drake.